Batteries fully charged. Launch ready for AEW Spark in 3, 2, 1. All Elite Wrestling discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this. Welcome to the special edition of Spark. Well, what's not even special? It's just fucking.
Just a regular episode of Spoke.
Yeah, like just regular, like no pay-per-views, which is fucking great because because we have to do 2 Sparks in a row. Both of them is with the fucking pay-per-views, and both of them was just something. But hey, to at least this is the first official week of technically last week was the week of no CM Punk, but this is where things starts to count. So, as a tradition, I don't know. So I just want to start things off with the advertisement for the newest charity that I found, and it's called the donations to the Mongol Embassy. Because they have been robbed, and unfortunately when they was robbed from the battle royal, they put in the wrong people in the battle royal. It should have been fucking it should have been Swerve in the battle royal, winning it all for the Mongol Embassy. But yeah, but I just want to know, because okay, so this is a true story. When there was advertising Eddie Kingston versus Claudio, I thought it was going to happen this week.
Okay.
But I was fucking wrong. I was like, because halfway, because when we was near the end of the show, I was like, there's only 6 minutes left. Is the match going to happen? But no. I was bamboozled. I thought it was going to be Swerve. No, I thought it was going to be Claudio and Kingston last week. But no, it's going to be this week. So I was so fucked up because I was like, oh, Grand Slam is next week. But yeah. So
that happened to me once. I thought the 6-man tag between Briggs, Jensen, and Miles Bourne versus Drew Gulak's faction they have going on in NXT. I thought that match was going to be last week because they did a segment where they advertised, hey, we're doing a 6-man tag. They never said what it was going to be, so I thought it was going to be next week, but instead it was the following week. So yeah, I don't know what's going on when it comes to wrestling advertising their matches sometimes.
They said authorized stadium in New York. I'm like, oh, cool. We're going to be in New York. But, no, I was bamboozled. The fucking New York show is this week. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, so yeah, it's just
the way they're advertising it makes you be like, oh, shit, it's going to happen next week. No, nigga, it's going to be fucking the week after.
Yeah. What? But... yeah, we'll just start off with the show. This is week 37 of Spark. We've made it. I mean, you've made it 37 weeks, I think, pretty much. I think that's the beauty of Spark. Not everyone has been on all 37 weeks. I've been on every episode of WWE Aftershock. I think the only episode I missed was 1 week. So it's I've been on all of those weeks. I think people were starting to get sick of me over there, and now they're like, oh, now he's coming over here to Spark. I think people are just gonna start getting sick of me pretty damn soon. But yeah, this is gonna be great because you actually get a wide awake Owen Finch I mean, Zio's just going to be the same. I don't really think he changes all that much, whether he's tired as hell or wide awake. I think he's just Zio. He just does his own thing. So,
Yeah.
And that's basically introductions. I noticed we don't really do introductions anymore in Spark. You just do your thing, and then we just get right onto the show type of thing. So it's just
I have a story to tell, right? So, so what the fuck?
Oh no, something's going on in the background.
Yeah, hold on. Okay.
Goes to tell his story, and he has to like, what am I gonna see happen? I don't want to start the show until he tells his story either, because it's gonna like throw the show. Something's going on though over there. I don't know why he didn't just shut his camera off, but this is what happens. But yeah, this is the beauty of doing Spark. Sometimes you never know what could happen. So what happened?
Oh, somebody put up the door. That's all. But here's my story, right? So topic I which day it was, but I was playing Fortnite with a friend, right? And like we was playing like damn near all fucking night. I didn't go to bed until like damn near four a.m. So it was one game we was doing, right? So what happened is that we was playing the Squid Game map, right?
Okay.
And I won the first round by accident because like we was on like the glass planes, right? So like I don't know because I don't know if you saw a Squid Game, but
I
there
did see it.
was
Yeah.
this one stage where it's like glass. So like we gotta watch which glass it was.
Yep.
So when the game started, right, me and this other guy was looking at each other because it was only us two left. We was looking at each other, right? And none of us want to go first.
Right.
So so when the other guy went first, I think he failed by accident. He was trying to hop on, but he failed, and I won the whole game. I'm like, what? Then like the second round, who was doing right? So who was doing red light, green light.
Oh yeah.
So like I made it. So whole time I was bullshit. I was doing the gritty all the way from the start to finish. So when I made it through, I thought it was a bright idea to win to to go back, right? But somehow, apparently, you got to stay on the other side because if you go back, fuck up, you're eliminated. So I cost myself the win. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Can you imagine being in like the real Squid Games and you just went through all that and then you're like, okay, I guess I won. You go back and then you just get eliminated. Like
right, I was like, ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
but that shit was fun. But like last night when I was playing Call of Duty with some guys, I swear to God, we was playing gun game, right? And like what happened is that when we get to the rocket launchers, we was blowing each other up for no fucking reason. We had a fucking RPG. We made it past from the pistols to the submachine guns to light machine guns to the assault rifles, snipers, then rocket launchers. But when we went to the rocket launchers, that's when things get fucking chaotic because not only you just blew up somebody else, but you blew up yourself. I remember I was walking around and I saw a rocket like, yeah. I'm like fucking way. Like, god damn, bro.
These are the crazy things that happen when you play video games with Zero. You can just never know what could happen. So,
if you play with me on Fortnite, bro, we are fucked and not fucked. We are good and fucked at the same time. Especially since they recently added in the what's it called? Deku Smash from My Hero Academia. If you see somebody charging up a fist in the midair, run. But then again, if you run, you're still gonna get hit because of the damn blast radius.
Oh my gosh.
But, fucking crazy.
Have you used the WWE Superstar pack yet? They've been advertising on WWE.
I really haven't because like I don't because I'm not trying to spend on fucking V-Bucks and then have to wait another season and all that the fuck. But
yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, that's what's been going on in my fucking realm of the damn video game world. Bullshitting and then like just fucking stay up all night playing one game, playing Gary's Mod or some bullshit. But yeah.
But yeah, we're here to talk about some wrestling, so let's talk about it. A first for me for a while. This is the first time I've watched both, at least half of the weekly content live. In terms of like, I watched Collision live this week and Dynamite. I didn't watch Rampage live this week because I was too tired from the week and everything, so I needed to take a nap. And then I think I watched Rampage by like 2:30 Saturday afternoon, and I'll be real, I fell asleep doing most of Rampage. I didn't even realize I fell asleep apparently doing one of the matches. And I didn't even realize it until they showed the replay of it on Collision. I could have just gone back and watched it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna. I already had to sit through it once. I wasn't gonna sit through it again, type of thing. It wasn't even a bad.
Sleep on the main event of Rampage.
Did I sleep on the main event? No, I didn't. I slept. I missed. Well, when we review Rampage, I'll tell you what. We'll get to what I missed. So. Yeah, let's just start by talking about Dynamite this week, though. This is the show that I watched live. It aired on September 13th, 2023. We had Taz, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone on commentary for it. And it opened right up with the International Championship match. It was Jon Moxley defending his championship against Big Bill with Ricky Starks ringside. And this was kind of interesting because obviously this is the first time that Ricky Starks has been on Dynamite, I think, since pretty much Collision started. I think he was on one episode of Dynamite where he just did a run-in, but this is the first time he's been on longer than 5 minutes since Collision started. So, again, like you said, we're going to see how life's going to be like post CM Punk. I think that brand split that they talked about really isn't going to be much of a factor now that CM Punk's gone. If you notice, a lot of people that you've just been seeing on Collision have been showing up at Dynamite recently, which
it's fucking pretty interesting in my thing because like I remember it kind of remind me of the 2010s Monday Night War. If you remember, it was a TNA against WWE, and it didn't really last very long.
Yeah, same thing here, pretty much. Yeah. I think they should do some type of thing because we've talked about before, as we've seen with Darby Allin, having somebody wrestle on both shows isn't going to work out, I don't think, very well for Dynamite because Darby Allin got very overexposed very quickly when he started doing that. So,
oh fuck yeah!
And don't forget too, he was also wrestling on Rampage too. So you saw Darby Allin like on 3 shows type of thing. Like
I'm getting sick of this
man. But yeah, we had this match. Jon Moxley started off firing away on big strikes against Big Bill, trying to just knock him down to size, but it doesn't work in the beginning. Big Bill takes his head off nearly with a clothesline. He starts using vicious power moves, hits a very good suplex onto Moxley. He throws him into the steps on the outside. He throws him over the table where the timekeeper's area is and everything like that. And during the picture-in-picture break, surprise, surprise, Jon Moxley bladed. But, I don't think this man knows how to not blade during a wrestling match. Ironically enough,
He cannot stop blading.
I
It's
know.
fucking ridiculous. Like, look, I'm a fan of John Moxley. That is my homeboy through and through. That is my boy since day one. But Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
Yeah.
I get, like, he did explain why he will bleed, like, in every match, but at the same time, it's like, bro, what the fuck you, dude, dude.
There was no reason for him to bleed, especially in this match. Like, I don't even know what even happened to him to cause him to bleed. Like, he just goes over the table and then he just bleeds. Like,
What happened is that okay, so he was Irish whipping to the steel steps, I believe.
okay, but like, I don't know. Okay. Why does he bleed here, but not? He didn't bleed at all during the international title match. If anything, Orange Cassidy is the one that bled. So I don't understand. You would think he'd want to bleed it all out, not on a random episode of Dynamite. But that's his choice, I guess. So,
What? Okay. What week we on again?
week 37.
All right. Because like I was looking up what happened during this week in wrestling. That's what I was seeing because it's like, well, back then, because there's probably like a lot of shit that happened during week. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, so Big Bill dominates him. He works over the injured head wound of John Moxley. Eventually, Moxley mounts a comeback. He tries to go for a paradigm shift, but because Big Bill is too big, he's able to counter it, and he hits a really good big boot on Moxley and nearly wins the championship, but it's not to be. Ricky Starks tries to run interference, but then eventually Bryan Danielson runs out, and yeah, he makes the save. It looks like he's going to even the odds, but he gets thrown into the steps. And it looks like Big Bill's still going to pull out the win, but Moxley hits a paradigm shift followed by the Bulldog choke. He doesn't fully get the Bulldog choke locked in. It's more of a sleeper hold. He tried to do this like 3 times to Big Bill, but he was able to fight out of it. The third time, was the charm. And Ricky Starks is going to try to run in and run interference, but Bryan Danielson's holding him back. So Big Bill basically has no choice but to tap out. Eventually he starts, flipping people off and all that type of stuff. And Moxley flips off Ricky Starks while he's got him in the submission hold and everything like that. And Big Bill taps out. Moxley retains the International Championship. And yeah, that was pretty much your opener of Dynamite. I thought this match was very good. I thought these two had very good chemistry with each other, and obviously this sets up future things that are going to happen with stuff on Collision and everything like that. And obviously, I don't know if this was just a 1 week thing for John Moxley because they were in Cincinnati, Ohio, and that's like his hometown and everything like that. So it made sense that he was a babyface for at least 1 week. So I mean, really all of Blackpool Combat Club was a babyface, except really Claudio. Claudio was probably the most heelish on Dynamite and Collision, but we'll get to that later. And then afterwards, I actually forgot that wasn't it. Ricky Starks and Big Bill start attacking Bryan Danielson and John Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli runs out to make the save, and he chases off Big Bill with an uppercut. And
fucking God, he actually come out and help and be a damn teammate. Holy shit, bro.
Yeah, it was awesome. So good stuff here. I thought this set up very nicely. It was a good opener to Dynamite, and I thought it set up very nicely every future stuff that's going to happen on Collision and everything like that. What did you think of this?
It was a match.
It was a match.
Like I don't know what to say, but it was a match. So
there you go. Yeah, do you think this babyface run was just a 1 week thing for the Blackpool Combat Club because of where they were? Do you think they're gonna, basically be tweeners now? Just because obviously we see Claudio Castagnoli act heelish throughout the show, and then later on John Moxley starts acting a little heelish throughout the show. The only one that's really not a heel in Blackpool Combat Club is really Bryan Danielson at the moment, because obviously he's been acting like a big babyface recently and everything like that. Do you think they're doing this change too because CM Punk's gone? They need someone to fill his role as a babyface, or do you think this was always going to happen?
I think this was always going to happen. Because ever since Punk left, Punk got fired, or Punk quit, or whatever how you want to see it. But I guess ever since he left, They probably do need a big baby face, but at the same time, Punk wasn't really technically a baby face in a sense, because how his demeanor was a bit. But it's like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
really
it's
don't
tough
know.
to really say. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
'Cause
that's
it's like, I guess the only big baby face in this company is either MJF, Adam Cole, or that's pretty much it.
yeah.
Mm.
And one of them might be going heel soon, so you know. But yeah, good stuff here from AEW for the most part. Next, we have a couple of interviews we can just lump together. Actually, a few interviews.
All right.
Actually, no, there's only one interview because there's one promo segment before this. So we'll just talk about the interview. So Roderick Strong and the Kingdom have their interview. I believe Roderick Strong was talking about how he's made it really far in the tournament, and he brags about the fact that he's doing this with a broken neck type of thing, where a lot of people would have just stayed home for like a while. And he said that he is going to win the tournament in spite of Adam Cole and in spite of MJF and everything like that. And Adam Cole comes up to him and he's trying to convince him not to do this match with Joe, since he was the person that ended up breaking his neck in the first place. And Roderick Strong's just kind of like, and the Kingdom are pretty much just like, oh, so now you care about me, you've been showing more concern over MJF than me type of thing. But he said that he's going to basically enter the tournament. So yeah, this was pretty good stuff. I like the storyline that's going on right here with the Kingdom and Adam Cole. I like that they continued that type of thing. And it made you wonder whether or not Roderick Strong was going to beat Samoa Joe. And the big storyline is we're meant to wonder if this injury that Roderick Strong has is real or not. I think it was, obviously in kayfabe, I think it was real at one point, but now because he's been in the neck brace for so long, they're starting to question whether or not he's obviously fibbing about the length of his injury and all that type of stuff. But overall, I liked this. It keeps it made you question what was going to happen, and it keeps the storyline going between Adam Cole, MJF, and the Kingdom. I imagine we're going to get some type of ROH tag title match between Better Than You Baby and the Kingdom, and I think that's going to be where the big turn or whatever happens. So overall, I liked this. What did you think?
That was goofy as shit. Because it's like this man really said, I'm about to win a tournament with a broken freaking neck. This man really thinks he was Kurt Angle a bit, which is funny as shit. Even though, nah, because it's like we all know this is fucking getting out of pocket, because like this man really started to be like, hey man, I got this broken fucking neck, bro, like
Yeah.
neck. I'm like, yo, you've been wearing this brace for how long? And all what happened to you is that he hit you with an air flosion right on the fucking chair,
Yeah.
and your neck is like, come on, man.
It'd be one thing if he hit like the
Bro.
muscle buster onto the chair, but like he didn't even hit that on him. Like,
If he was going to do the muscle buster, he would probably be dead.
yeah,
Because if you need an example how dangerous the move is, tax Tyson Kidd.
I mean he's not
His
dead.
career ended.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like he ain't dead, but that shit was vicious.
I know. I think he could have died. Like if he hit. I think it was like
about to die,
yeah,
which was crazy. That's why they changed. That's why in right after that they changed Joe's finisher from the muscle buster to like either the Uranagi or the Coquina Clutch.
yeah. So, yeah, overall relatively good stuff. Then Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita reveal their masterpiece. They come out, they talk about how they did exactly what they said that they were going to do at All Out. That they were going to destroy Kenny Omega, but they say that they're not quite done because they don't want to just destroy Kenny Omega. They want to destroy everyone that Kenny Omega is close to. And he unveils the Peyton, and he reveals that the next person is Kota Ibushi, which I couldn't believe they actually went there, because obviously we speculated this was going to happen, but we're like, this may not happen, but it looks like it's going to happen. Don Callis talks about how Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega have been inseparable pretty much since they started facing off with each other and teaming together. And, he talks about how Kenny Omega started getting more close with Kota Ibushi than Don Callis, the man that got him into the industry pretty much, and made Kenny Omega the GOAT that he always, was. And he said that Kota Ibushi was going to prove who the real Japanese sensation is, and he's going to cut out Kota Ibushi. And he takes the screwdriver and stabs it into the eye of Kota Ibushi. And the painting was really cool, by the way. It was like, Konosuke Takeshita and Don Callis like stabbing a sword right into the back of Kota Ibushi. It was pretty damn good stuff. I like this segment a lot here. I imagine we're going to get some type of response from Kota Ibushi fairly soon. I thought it'd be on this show, but I guess it wasn't needed. I imagine next week on Grand Slam, we're going to see Kota Ibushi, and that match is going to get made official for Wrestle Dream, which I think is going to be... I think that's going to be awesome. I do think we need to get Kota Ibushi at least in the win in a one-on-one match before then, just because he hasn't looked the best doing his six-man tags. I think there's just something... I think we talked about this some off about him. He doesn't need to necessarily do a lawn match. I would have him do some type of squash match or something like that, just taking somebody out. But overall, I really like this segment a lot, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Kota Ibushi versus Konosuke Takeshita. I think that's going to be absolute fire. So, how did you feel about this segment? And the fact that they finally went there, they went with Kota Ibushi versus Konosuke Takeshita. Do you think it's going to happen at Wrestle Dream, or do you think it's going to happen on an episode of Dynamite, Collision, or Rampage, or something like that?
Let me tell you something, alright, bro? When I heard that, bro, when they announced that, that was about to happen, right? Hold up, this shit. When they announced the fact that this was about to happen, this was fucking me right there, bro. I was about to fucking come, bro. I bust a fucking nut.
I can't blame you.
I was like, yo, we actually about to get this fucking match between Kota Ibushi and fucking Takeshita. I was blown the fuck away because this was one of the matches I really wanted to see. Because I knew when they started feuding with Kenny, I knew they would have to do against Takeshita and Ibushi, because it makes sense. You have Takeshita over here being a dickhead. Then you have Kenny Omega trying to show why he is the Omega. And now fucking Takeshita beat the Omega, and now he's the Alpha. And all that's left is Kota Ibushi. What could have happened first, they could have done this a different way, like how Takeshita and Ibushi before Takeshita and Omega. But they want to do it this way. I'm not mad at it. I'm pretty fine with it. I don't mind it. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a really fun match, especially since I like both of them. I like Ibushi and Takeshita, and I feel like this is about to be fucking fun. I hope Ibushi shows up and actually got his main shit together. But yeah, but also, do you got Twitter? Because there is a video Ibushi posted on Twitter.
I do have X, but
there's a video. Because a video he recorded, right?
Okay.
of him doing a moonsault to his phone.
What the hell?
Like the phone was literally like on the ground, and like you see and you basically looking up at Ibushi, and he just does a moonsault on his phone. I'm like, what the fuck is
I
what are
hope he
you
had his
doing,
freaking
bro?
screen, but I hope he had his screen protector on and all that type of stuff, because that's broken
Yeah,
if he didn't have a screen protector on. So,
bro. Ibushi is different. I remember he posted on Twitter him working out naked, bro. I'm like, all
okay.
right, bro. I was like, all right, man.
Yeah,
Ibushi's a different breed. I swear to God, bro.
you know he is. I remember
I love this man.
his Cruiserweight
I,
Classic matches. I remember were crazy. Dude took I think like a fireman's carry like neck breaker onto the turnbuckle. Like no, a burning hammer onto the turnbuckle. I think he took one regular, then one across the turnbuckle, and the dude still kicked out of that type of thing. Like it was insane. Like
because Kota Ibushi's different. This man, like this Ibushi is just something else, bro.
he
Like
really is.
his like when he did a fucking when he when his Cruiserweight Classic matches, his fucking match at Wrestle Kingdom against Jay White, they were just a different animal.
They really
That's
were.
a like he was just fucking awesome.
Yeah, he is. Uh, I mean, do you even think he's going to accept though? Because obviously he still has
Yeah.
yet to give a response. So
Yes.
you need
Because
to
like
think about that one.
if you harm fucking Omega, you know Ibushi's gonna come after you. If you harm Ibushi, you know King is gonna come after you.
So that looks
So
like
like
looks like both bids may
so
happen now.
yeah.
Because obviously they harmed Omega, Ibushi's coming after him, and then they're gonna harm Ibushi, and Kenny's gonna be coming right back after him. And Kenny already has reason enough to go back after him with everything that Don Callis has done recently and everything like that. I do have to question the booking mistake. Like, you kind of booked yourself a little bit into a corner because I don't know if really both of these guys can afford a loss because obviously Takeshita needs a big win because he just beat Omega. You have to kind of follow that up and have him get some momentum. But this is like Ibushi's first real big singles match in AEW. Do you really want to have him come in with this big loss in the beginning and everything like that? So I kind of hope they can book themselves out of this in a smart way type of thing. Again, we still don't know what. We know this match is most likely going to happen at some point, but we just don't know when yet. If I had to make a prediction, I'm just going to guess it's going to be Wrestle Dream, just because I don't know where else you could really book that. If Ibushi had accepted at Grand Slam, but I don't really think you need to do it at Grand Slam because I think that card's so loaded that I think Ibushi and Takeshita would get kind of lost in the shuffle out of that. I think Ibushi could make an appearance next on the next episode of Dynamite, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But we have a couple quick interviews here. First, the Blackpool Combat Club get interviewed, and Bryan Danielson expresses his disappointment in Ricky Starks because he had a chance to join the Blackpool Combat Club, and he threw it all away, all for nothing. And he challenges Big Bill and Ricky Starks to a tag match where it's going to be Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson versus Big Bill and Ricky Starks. And then the Lucha Bros come up, and Ray Phoenix wants a piece of Jon Moxley since he took him out of at All In. I mean, Ray Phoenix, if you had just gotten your visa issues taken care of, that wouldn't have happened to you, bro. Though, but whatever, he's got to put the blame somewhere, and he wants to face him for the International Championship. And Jon Moxley and everybody just start yelling at each other. And I love what happens here. Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli get into this, and they don't yell at each other. They just stare intensely right at each other. And just, they don't yell, they don't get into brawls. And Eddie Kingston just basically tells Claudio that next week he's going to get his type of thing. So, before I have you give your thoughts on that, next, Hook gets interviewed. And before he can really even say anything, Orange Cassidy comes up, and he tells Hook that he has a nice looking championship, and Orange Cassidy says that he was told that he wasn't medically cleared to wrestle, and I'll say it again, you were cutting out really bad. Oh
Yeah.
say it again. You're back to normal now.
Okay, so basically, what I was trying to say is that he was cutting out a bit, to my end.
Oh, okay. So someone was cutting out of something, but you know. But anyhow,
So you was talking about the whole Claudio and Kingston just looking dead at each other like, bro, I can't wait to fuck your ass up, bro.
and I love it too because typically in AEW and all these shows now, it's a bunch of yelling backstage, and Claudio and Kingston weren't doing any of that stuff. They were just staring intently right at each other, like knowing that we don't need to yell or anything like that. We know the fans know how much we hate each other, type of thing. So,
You know, there was one. Put that actually reminds me of. Remember when remember when the Brawling Brutes in like Imperium, they was just looking at each other.
yep.
Then like you have Putsch, Putsch and Ridge, and Pinchy and Kaiser just start fighting each other, but like Gunther and Sheamus were just looking dead at each other while like everybody else was just brawling.
I remember that. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a cold ass moment. That was really fucking sick.
But anyhow, yeah, continuing with the Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy comes up to him and he says that he's lucky that he has a championship and he's medically cleared to wrestle, type of thing. And
Yes.
yeah, he's lucky that he's able to wrestle and everything like that. And he said that he's looking forward to seeing what Hook can do in the ring and everything like that. And he hopes that they can become tight and all that type of stuff. And Renee Paquette just takes it back to ringside. She doesn't really know what to make of this or anything like that. She's so speechless. And she's like, okay, I guess this is a thing now. But then she didn't really know what to make of this segment. What did you think of these two segments here? I thought they were really good for two different reasons, reasons and all that type of stuff.
These segments was wait. What was the other segment again?
The first segment was the Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, the challenge for the tag match, and then the second segment was the Hook Orange Cassidy segment.
Alright. The first segment was actually pretty fucking like how they just don't even interact like their eyes were just locked on. They don't they just ready to rumble, but they want to save it for when actually matters, which is pretty cool.
I think it's awesome, yeah.
And the Hook in Orange Cassidy was so straightforward. I just loved it. It was so straightforward. So you want to tag? Mm-hmm. Grand Slam? Mm-hmm. Alright. This is like...
Yeah,
I
it was
love
awesome.
it.
It's great stuff, yeah.
It's so dumb, but it's so fucking great. Holy shit.
I can't wait to... I hope they make these two a tag team, but I want to see a match with these two type of thing. That match would be 5 stars in all different types of levels for different reasons type of thing. They just don't care. Orange Cassidy doesn't care because he doesn't care. Hook doesn't care because he just realized he could just mess anybody up anyways. Like I can't wait to see these two have a match for that FTW championship type of thing. That may be the greatest FTW title match ever type of thing. So
it'll be the goofiest, first of all.
it would, yeah. Next was a 4-way match. It was an AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. It was Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose with Marina Shafir inside versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I really didn't care much for this 4-way match. It was just kind of whatever. It was good enough. There wasn't anything bad about it, but I just didn't really like it. I just didn't really care for how it was structured and all that type of stuff. Eventually, Toni Storm rolls up, I believe it was Shida, to get the victory, and she became #1 contender for the championship. And she's celebrating. She still has the Outcast theme song, which doesn't really make sense because she's out of the Outcast, obviously. And her gimmick right now doesn't really fit the Outcast anymore and all that type of stuff. And then It was so weird afterwards. Hikaru Shida, it just cuts to the ring. You see Hikaru Shida is like choking Britt Baker, and then it just stops, and then they start fighting with each other. And then Britt Baker just rolls out of the ring, and they're just wondering what's going on, type of thing. It was just the sloppiest. I think it was one of the sloppiest moments I've ever seen in my life. Like, none of this was any good. Like, the match itself was kind of whatever, but like I didn't really care for any of this type of thing. Like, I really think they rushed the Britt Baker-Saraya feud. I feel like all of a sudden, Tony Storm, for some reason, is out of the Outcast. I get they did the thing where, like, Tony Storm hit Saraya's mom, but it was like, but you saw that was an accident. Like, you were watching as it happened, type of thing. Like, what are you talking about? And then later on, they do a promo where she was already kicked out of it. I know it's not tough to do comparison, but imagine they did this with Sami Zayn in the Bloodline storyline. We'd be crapping on that. Like, this is just terrible, the way they went about this. Like, you really could have just booked it. All you had to do was just book another match. Like, the long-term goal, I get, was to do Saraya versus Tony Storm anyways. Why not just do the match at either Wrestle Dream and Full Gear, just because I thought that would have made a lot more sense. Plus, too, Tony Storm's character is still not evolved enough to really have a match right now with Saraya. I feel like, too, she would have gone even more crazy had she lost this match and taken the pin, but it is what it is. How did you feel about this? How do you feel about the match? Tony Storm being out of the Outcast randomly, and how do you feel about what's going on with Shida and Britt Baker right now? Because there's something brewing there, it looks like, and all that type of stuff. I'm sorry,
I honestly don't give a fuck about this. It's like, I don't know why she still have the Outcast theme. I don't know why this is still going on. I don't know why Britt Baker have to. Nah, I don't know why this match is even happening. I'm at the point where it's just like, I don't care at this point, bro.
This was the one woman's match.
Like, it's just I don't know.
This was the one woman's match of the whole show, by the way.
Yeah, it's just. This is also if I remember correctly. Was it this whatchamacallit? I forgot what happened in this match at all. So I don't remember even the whole match. I don't even remember who was in the match. Because I know Britt Baker lost a contenders match, but she ended up having a TBS title match anyways.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, I don't know what she. Let's just move on because my mind just scrambled at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Again, like I said, this was the one women's match in a 2-hour broadcast of a wrestling television show. So great stuff right there. Afterwards, Ruby Soho and Saraya get interviewed. And Saraya talks about pretty much how Tony Storm hasn't been a very good member of the Outcast lately, and she said that she's going to destroy her and Arthur Ashe, and they're going to take everything from her, pretty much. Even though she doesn't have anything, what do you have to take from her? But I don't know. But
I'm just like, all right, bro.
I didn't care about any of this. What did you think of this? The only thing I care about is we're one step closer to having a complete breakup of the Outcast, which I think is at least that's good. So. There you go. Nextly, Sex Gods cut a promo. They come out. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara talk about how they've been inseparable in AEW since day one. They've been together since day one, which isn't exactly true because there's been a couple moments where Sammy Guevara quit the Inner Circle and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he didn't even join the Jericho Appreciation Society until like a month later. But, they've been inseparable, apparently. And Jericho tells the story about how he was introduced to Sammy Guevara. He talked about how he watched the 70th anniversary of NWA, and he saw this young kid, Sammy Guevara, and he thought he was completely miscast in the NWA, which I just think it's hilarious that AEW just completely talks shit about the NWA, which I think is awesome. And he talked about how he came up to Sammy Guevara and he told him that if he listened to him, he would make it far in this business. And so far he has. He has been a multiple time TNT champion. He talks about how
shitty ass belt.
Huh?
The shitty ass belt.
And then he talks
nothing anymore.
And then he talks about how how he's had big moments in the main event scene and everything like that. He fought for the world title, and he said that he's going to have many more world title shots. And then Sammy Guevara talks about how he looked up to Chris Jericho when he was growing up and everything like that. He tried to pattern his career after Chris Jericho and tried to take out as much advice as he could from Chris Jericho. And he talked about, how they've been there for each other through the good moments and the bad moments. And they said that next week, if I beat you, that could be the biggest victory, of my entire career. And
I press X to doubt.
Huh?
I press X to doubt.
Yeah. And then Jericho talks about how one day he could beat, Sammy Guevara could beat Chris Jericho, but that day is not going to be next week because he's just not ready yet. And this is where stuff starts to get intense because Sammy Guevara says that, that's the thing. You always saw me as your lackey. You always saw me as your second, pretty much. And he wants to prove to Jericho next week that he does have what it takes to beat Chris Jericho, and he's gonna cement his place in AEW as one of the guys type of thing. And Jericho says that he hopes so because he's going to have to do whatever it takes to defeat him. He's going to have to even play dirty a little bit and all that type of stuff. And afterwards they hug and they kind of just leave to the back. That's basically the end of the segment right here. I like this segment overall, what it was. I thought it did a really good job of going through the history of Les Sex Gods. And I guarantee you probably something big's going to happen next week where, either someone's turning or someone's going to, cost someone the match type of thing. I definitely think Don Callis is going to factor in this somehow. I don't know how, but he will, I think. But overall, I really liked this segment here. I thought Jericho and Guevara really brought it and all that type of stuff. And, I thought they did a really good job setting up, their match for next week and all that type of stuff. How did you feel about this? Did you like the history lesson that you got? And, who do you think is turning type of thing? And what do you think is going to happen in the match next week?
It was an okay segment. I think. I think the match is going to be all right. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is that if one of them do turn, like Sammy Guevara or Jericho will probably make the most sense because he's at this point where he's just a fucking loser.
I know.
No matter what happened, he will always betray his friends, and he is the Judas for real.
He is.
No pun intended. But if this does come down to him joining Don officially, then interesting. But if they're gonna do Sammy turning on Jericho, yeah, I guess I'm down with it. But I'm at the point where it's they keep teasing it, and it's not really cooking up like how the MJF Adam Cole is. But I just want this feud to actually hit its conclusion, and they actually go their separate ways.
Yeah.
So Sammy could actually be proven, wrong about the fact that he can't change Jericho because Jericho, no matter how long his career was, he always ends up turning on his friends. He he always ends up leaving them behind. In WWE, most of his career, because he's just been a fucking dickhead. Yes, he was turned on by Kevin Owens, but before the whole Kevin Owens thing, he was just fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
Like him and Edge, or him and Michaels. He's just diabolical, bro.
He really is.
Remember when he was with Stephanie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he
So
took.
he go ahead.
I think he turned on her too. I'm pretty sure too. Like after like she was banished from TV and everything like that. So
Yeah. When he beat like The Rock and Austin the same night to become the undisputed champion. Like, yeah, Jericho always been a diabolical person. Like,
yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting to see like if it is Jericho. Um, they could do something where maybe one of them cheats to win, and they build that up to the storyline type of thing too. Like it doesn't have to be an immediate turn next week type of thing. It could be one of them just cheats to win type of thing, and then the other confronts him about it. Because that's the thing they do still have, by the way, is that storyline where Jericho just can't really seem to get the big wins anymore. So maybe it's more logical that it's Sammy that gets the win, and Jericho kind of has to have the, you know, question of whether or not he could still get the big victories and all that type of stuff. Because Jericho really hasn't had any big victories as of late. So he's been on a downward slump, I think, ever since he lost the ROH World Title. So
yeah, which is good that he lost. Which is good that he fucking lost the Ring of Honor title. Really, yeah.
Next, we have an MJF update. This is from last week, where he talks about, you know, how his neck's ruined, so, you know, he's going to take some time off next week. I like, too, he said that, you know, he loves the fact that he keeps getting injured because that means he just gets a week off type of thing. I just love the fact that he said that. And he basically does a MJF math promo where he goes through all the odds type of thing, where he talks about how there's a this amount chance winning, this amount chance winning of him retaining his title and everything like that. It's one of those promos you have to go see because he says it so fast and all that type of stuff. And Adam Cole pretty much says that he's going to be looking out for MJF. And obviously the biggest takeaway that here is that MJF is showing more care to MJF and his neck injury than he has been towards Roderick Strong and his neck injury. So, you know, I liked that for the most part. So, I love this promo here. You know, Better Than You, Baby continue to have great chemistry together. And MJF just continues to knock it out of the park as a babyface. So, I think that's awesome. How'd you feel about this? And how did you feel that you got to learn some MJF math?
This shit was so goofy as a motherfucker, bro. So goofy. Because, like, the fact that I'm surprised he remembers, like, most of the fucking words.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, holy shit, this man knows like what he was talking about. Like, I feel like he did. I feel like he watched the fucking promo. That's how he actually remembers it, which is fucking funny.
I know
because like the whole Scott Steiner math shit was just fucking out of nowhere. It was just even funnier. Cause he was just Steiner was just saying shit. He was just saying shit throughout the whole promo. He was just saying numbers and he made it work. He
did.
What's even crazier is the fact even though he was saying shit, the math was correct.
It's that Steiner couldn't get it out of his mouth quick enough type of thing and all that type of stuff. So
when he was speaking, the math was literally correct. He wasn't wrong with the math. He knows his shit.
He does. Next we had Brian Cage with Prince Nano inside versus Heyman Adam Page. Very good back and forth match here. Heyman Adam Page dominates early. So I guess this was the third singles match. I thought it was 4, but the match I was confused with, I remember they did a tag match shortly after Double or Nothing 2021, and I think that's what I was confused about. I think it was him and 10 versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage. So that's where my confusion came in. But they showed footage of the past 2 matches. I love how Taz had to comment on it because he was with Brian Cage doing those first 2 matches, but he completely didn't even mention... Like, he mentioned he was with Team Taz, but he didn't even mention that he basically orchestrated that to happen to Brian Cage, so I think that's funny. And, yeah, Heyman Adam Page dominates the match early. Eventually, Swerve Strickland comes out, and he's watching the match from the stage, and Yeah, Prince Nana is dancing around ringside when Swerve Strickland comes out, which is hilarious. And Brian
He
Cage.
got that trending too.
Oh, he
He
has,
got the
yeah.
swerve dance trending. It's just fucking funny.
Brian Cage starts to dominate the match. He hits a vicious powerbomb onto Page, but Page kicks out. And then eventually Adam Page hits the Deadeye. It didn't even look like Brian Cage's head even touched the ground, but, whatever. And Heyman Adam Page wins the match. And he challenges Swerve Strickland to get into the ring. He's even like, is this the Heyman Adam Page that you've been wanting to see because you made a big mistake and everything like that? And Swerve Strickland had a microphone hidden in his pocket. And he pulls it out and he says that, he doesn't do this on Heyman Adam Page's time. He's going to do this on his time. And he announces that the match is going to happen at Wrestle Dream, which I'm really glad they're saving this match. I was getting worried thinking that they were going to do this match next week. And I thought that would have been way too soon. So I'm glad they're saving this for Wrestle Dream. And afterwards, he tells Heyman Adam Page to watch his back. And Prince Nana and Brian Cage attack him from behind. And the Young Bucks show up. They super kick Brian Cage. And during all of this, Prince Nana's doing the whole swerve dance thing. And he's doing this for like about good minute and a half while the Young Bucks are standing behind him. And the second he turns around, they do a super kick to him. And then they do the swerve dance, mocking Prince Nana. I like the match. It was very good. But this was just gold because of Prince Nana alone. Just him
Nana is the absolute highlight of everything, bro. I love this man so fucking much.
What did you think of this? How do you feel about Page versus Swerve coming up? And then how do you feel about, the Young Bucks coming out and making the save and everything like that?
I was hoping the Young Bucks didn't come out because I don't know. It's just like I get it why they came out. like that's their homeboy and shit, but Swerve is basically speaking nothing, put you straight facts. Like
yes,
since you was with the fucking Young Bucks, you got lazy, and I feel like this could be the perfect time for them to be like let's let homeboy does this by himself, because like, come on.
But yeah, how did you feel about Prince Nana's little dance he did towards the end and everything?
That shit's trending on Twitter and Instagram. It got so popular to the point that during this is a real thing. During Eric Bischoff's podcast, he was doing the dance.
Oh my gosh.
Then fucking a Wrestle Talk. Fucking that was doing the figure dance. Like it gotten so popular to the point that even everybody else, like not just the fans but people from different medias of wrestling, is just doing the dance. Like it caught on that bad. It's fucking hilarious. I love it.
It's awesome.
I love it.
And there's more dancing throughout the show because then Daniel Garcia gets interviewed, and Renee Paquette asks him about what's going on with Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. And Daniel Garcia just put a stop to it, pretty much. He's saying, like, he's sick and tired of people asking about, him leaving the Jericho Appreciation Society, what's going on between Jericho and Guevara. When are people going to start asking about him? Because he's ready to start to rise in the ranks of AEW and everything like that. But he can't do that if people don't ask about him. Then Don Callis comes up, and he basically offers him a spot in the Don Callis family. And, he says that he can make money with him and all that type of stuff. And Garcia does his dance in, Don Callis' face. And he walks off. And then Don Callis is just like, see, that's money right there. That's going to get him to the top. And I think I think Don Callis took this answer as if it's not a no, but it's not a yes either. But it's like a maybe type of thing. So... how did you feel about this segment right here between Daniel Garcia and everything like that? And do you think he's joining? Do you think he's joining the Don Callis family and all that type of stuff?
I wouldn't mind, but but I also want to see him on his own.
He could do really well on his own, yeah.
Yeah, like he did, like he really did before when he was torn between the JAS and the Blackpool Combat Club. He could do good on his own, and I want him to be on. I really want him to be on his own so he could blossom and bloom more.
Definitely,
because he got a shtick going on. Though. He got something going on, and I want to see that bloom like hard.
But we'll see if that can happen. Next, we had a tag match. It was Darby Allin and Nick Wayne versus Cool Hand Angelo Parker and Daddy Magic Matt Menard with Jake Hager and Anna Jay in their corners. Relatively good tag match here. Nothing too fantastic. During the match, Christian Cage and Luchasaurus come out, and Christian Cage does special guest commentary.
Christian's here. You know what that fucking mean?
Oh no!
You know what that
How's
mean?
everybody's father feeling today?
You already know what that means, bro. How's everybody's father's doing today, baby?
But yeah, Christian Cage, was really good on commentary. He, was just throwing jabs at Darby Allin and everybody like that. Eventually, Nick Wayne hits Wayne's World on Daddy Magic, and Darby Allin follows up with a coffin drop and gets the pin.
Fucking loser.
Yeah, I don't think you were a fan of that. Then afterwards, Christian Cage gets on the mic. He's had enough of this, and he pretty much throws out the challenge. He said that he talks about how, that tag match at All In's really bugging him because he didn't even lose that tag match overall. He was never pinned or submitted, or he didn't go in the coffin or anything like that. So he challenges a Darby Allin and Sting to face Luchasaurus and Christian Cage to a tag match at Grand Slam. I think that tag match is going to be entertaining as hell. I really can't wait to see that match. We do find out later that it's going to be on the Rampage version of Grand Slam, which I guess that is what it is. I kind of wish it was on the Dynamite version, but whatever. Got to get some love on the Rampage version though. So,
No.
I guess not in Zero's mind, but yeah. How did you feel about the tag match here and Christian Cage throwing out the challenge for Grand Slam Rampage?
Man, I just neglected the whole match, bro. I'm like, Tabeta was alright. I just don't want to look at it. I just don't get why Nick Wayne gets much attention. Like, yes, he needs to bloom and blossom, but he's just another indie guy, so I'm just like, whatever.
I can't blame you for that.
Yeah. Like, I'm happy he's getting like attention and shit, but he's not that good.
I don't know if he's
like he's good, but it's just like he could get better. Like right now he's just another indie guy.
Yeah, he's probably not like
and
he's probably not TV ready yet, type of thing. So
yeah, so I was like, man, I don't care. But yeah, it was alright match. Poor 2.0, bro.
I know.
Like I love them, but they have to eat. But like they have to hold this L real quick. So
They're holding a lot of L's actually. So.
Oh, true.
I forgot to mention one thing that Christian Cage mentions in the promo that was really funny is he mentions that he was trying to slide into Nick Wayne's mom's DM to try to get any bikini pics and all that type of stuff. Like, dude, you're a
That's just outrageous.
You're a husband, bro. You have a family. Like, come on, dude. Like, but anyhow, I guess that's what Christian Cage's into. I wonder how many people went to Nick Wayne's mom now too to try to find her Instagram pics after Christian Cage went and said.
Oh God. You know what? I should really try right now. Let me go.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, I'll cover the main event. The main event was the World Title Eliminator Finals Tournament match. It's Roderick Strong with the Kingdom inside versus Samoa Joe. This was a good match. I really liked it a lot. You know, they were.
I'll be waiting.
But yeah, they were really putting a lot behind Roderick Strong here. he really took it to Samoa Joe. There were several moves that Joe was hitting that really targeted the neck of Roderick Strong. And Taz was trying to defend the Roderick Strong injury, talking about how sometimes when you have a neck injury, people try to work through it, saying that it comes and goes in places and all that type of stuff. And he was really ragging on Shivani because she was mentioned, you ever have a broken neck before, Shivani? I don't think so. So, yeah, Taz and Shivani were really going at it on commentary. Eventually, Joe hits the Muscle Buster, followed by the Coquina Clutch, and he makes Roderick Strong tap out. And Samoa Joe sends a message to MJF, and he says, that he's going to take everything from MJF, and he means everything. And Samoa Joe leaves, and, doing this, Roderick Strong, is getting back to his feet, and then he falls to the floor as if there was some type of reaggravation that happened in his neck. And Chaz defended this by saying that can happen in neck injuries. Sometimes you'll just, go through adrenaline, and then right after the match is over, it will just come back to you type of thing. And Adam Cole comes out to check on him. And Roderick Strong's seeing, Adam, where are you? He's just cheering. He's just yelling for Adam. And he even says that he can't see Adam Cole, but his eyes are closed doing all this. Just open your eyes, bro. Like, come on. But Adam Cole's showing concern, but the Kingdom, Matt Bennett and Mike Taven won't let him really check on him type of thing, just because they feel like Adam Cole's done too much damage. And, they stretch out Roderick Strong. Adam Cole looks really concerned, and then Samoa Joe pops up behind him and lays out Adam Cole with the Coquina Clutch, and he's just yelling, saying that he's taking everything from MJF next week and all that type of stuff. But I really liked this. I thought this was a nice way to continue several storylines. It gets Joe in the main event scene. Again, I do wonder if they should have saved Joe versus MJF for Wrestle Dream, but they must have a bigger match planned for Wrestle Dream. If it's the All-Weights World Tag Team title match between the Kingdom and Better Than You Baby, I guess that's okay. But if you're going to do that match at Wrestle Dream, I think the bigger priority would have been to do MJF versus Joe. Maybe they're going to do something next week where MJF does beat Joe, but it's not like a clean win, so it will cause, a rematch to happen, which is the exact same storyline they just did with the CM Punk thing, but whatever. But, yeah, maybe something's clearly going to happen with Roderick Strong. We still don't know yet. But overall, I was into all this. I liked how they kept Adam Cole's storyline really, really hot and everything like that. And I love that Samoa Joe, when he said he was going to take everything from MJF, he meant it. And there's all reasons for Adam Cole to turn heel right now. He had to take a beating from MJF pretty much, and MJF couldn't even be there. And then, this all of this could be a trap right here with, the Kingdom could all just be working together all along type of thing. So I'm really liking that. How did you feel about the match, and how did you feel about how they continued the main event program between you, Better Than You Baby, and everything like that?
I dig it. I dig it a lot, especially since they really started bigger things a bit more. Because now, part of me thinks what they're going to do for Wrestle Dream, maybe the title match, maybe a career match or a tag team, a title match, or since after Wrestle Dream it's Full Gear.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking either they're gonna do. Okay, so I'm thinking either they're gonna do maybe the tag match at Wrestle Dream, to then at Full Gear it could either be MJF versus Roderick Strong or Adam Cole versus Strong.
Yeah, they could do one of those.
And then right after that, it could be like, whatever. But they could really stretch this out a bit, but I don't know how they're gonna do it. But good Ring of Honor match. Going through, fucking Roger Strong being the absolute Shawn Michaels seller from him against Hulk Hogan, which is crazy. And Samoa Joe is still the most undisputed absolute menace to society currently. but I know Joe's gonna lose at Grand Slam. Maybe by cheat, maybe by DQ or whatever. But I just hope Joe is not out of the world title picture because I kind of want to see this feud go on a bit longer
Yeah,
and have
definitely.
Adam Cole deal with Roderick Strong. But
I mean, the
yeah,
biggest thing too, we still don't even know about MJF's contract situation, type of thing. Like this could be how the MJF gets written off of Dynamite, where Adam Cole eventually does go heel on him, type of thing. Or maybe that could be how Adam Cole turns heel. He basically banishes. They do some type of like loser leaves Dynamite match or something, or loser leaves AEW match, and MJF beats MJF and gets the belt, and banishes MJF from AEW and all that type of stuff. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Because I don't think AEW can afford to lose MJF. I think that's going to hurt them
no,
big. I think they're more okay because the elite ended up resigning and everything like that. But we'll get to it when we talk about Rampage. Someone big's leaving AEW now though, so I think MJF's really needed to stay in AEW type of thing because one, he main evented All In and all that type of stuff. His match was the main thing that probably sold All In. So if MJF is gone, just we'll have to wait and see. But we're still not really close to that. So we can talk about that later on type of thing. But overall, I thought this was a relatively good episode of Dynamite. I thought it was relatively solid. This was kind of a cool down week just because we've had a big few weeks with All In Go Home Show, All Out Go Home Show. Then we had the follow up to all that stuff. I thought this week was kind of a little bit of a cool down week, more of a setup towards Grand Slam. So overall, this is relatively good stuff. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore. AEW is starting to hype up a lot of shows recently. They're doing Grand Slam, and now they're doing Wrestle Dream shortly after that. So, and then that's going to be Full Gear right after that. So I'm hoping December is like kind of like a little bit of where we can kind of breathe a little bit and all that type of stuff. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I'm going to give Dynamite a solid B. I thought it was a relatively solid show.
I'll
What
give it
rate?
a C.
You'll give it a C? Oh, you actually gave it a legitimate
Yeah,
letter grade. You don't typically do letter grades. So,
yeah, because I don't know what to call this fucking Dynamite for real.
so
It's just some.
yeah. All right, let's cover Rampage, and we're going to go over Rampage relatively quickly. Rampage took place
Uh,
on September 15th, 2023. We had the commentary
oh,
team.
oh, I was just about to I'll tell you this because before we start Rampage, I want to do a deep dive to what happened during um September 13th
Oh,
and that day in history because this is pretty fucking interesting that I found out.
oh no.
So on September 13th, um let me make sure I got a good one. Okay, so this is from TJR Wrestling .net. I'm gonna go through the most interesting ones than anything else. In 1988, September 13th, three teams competed in the very first time. Well, oh fucking god, this is the. Oh no, it's this one. Okay, so in 1988, there was the Fall Brawl War Games, right?
Okay.
And but like on but like during this one of the special matches, which is War Games, happened. This was the three team War Games match between Team WCW, Diamond Dallas Page, Roddy Piper, and the Warrior defeated NWO Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, and Stevie Ray, and the NWO Wolfpack, which was Kevin Nash, Sting, and Lex Luger. So yeah, uh, uh, and that happened in 1998. Let me find another interesting joint. Tokyo hosted a Ring of Honor Best Okay, so Tokyo hosted Ring of Honor Battle of the Best, featuring the main event of Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black defending their Ring of Honor Tag Team title against the Briscoes. Then the undercard appearance from Austin Aries and Bryan Danielson. That was 2008. 2009, on the same um WWE hosted Breaking Point, which
Oh,
took place in Montreal, with all matches. Well, main event main event matches were based under submission rules. So CM Punk defeated the Undertaker in a submission match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Randy Orton. Oh, CM Punk defended the world title in a submission match against the Undertaker. Randy Orton defended Randy Orton defended the WWE championship against John Cena in a I Quit match, and Legacy faced off against DX, Tenet Fosco Anywhere, a submission match. So that's pretty fucking
yeah, that's
interesting.
interesting.
And what else happened? Oh, 2011, TNA Impact did a taping in their main place, Universal Studios, and it features Sting versus Ric Flair to earn a match against Hulk Hogan to have Bound for Glory. So that's fucking. Bro, I remember that fucking shit. That shit was
Yeah,
tragic. Fucking tragedy.
yeah. Most of the
But
stuff I remember. Obviously the. I have heard the stories about the War Games match in 1998. I hear that's like one of the worst War Games matches because like no one was
that shit was
really,
ass.
yeah, no one was really on a team. That might have to be a retro someday. The ROH show I didn't know about. That's pretty cool. Breaking Point I remember obviously just because I didn't buy it or anything like that, but you know I remember because they redid the Montreal Screwjob and the I Quit match. I remember I have seen that match before. It's actually one of the best I think I Quit matches of the modern era type of thing. And then yeah, the TNA thing. The less said about that, the better.
You know, right? That shit's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what happened in history during that fucking day. It's fucking bizarre world,
I
but
know.
I love
Um,
wrestling. It's just stupid.
But yeah, going through Rampage, I think I said this earlier in the show. I fell asleep during most of Rampage just because of over tiredness and everything like that. So, yeah, we'll talk about it. I do roughly know everything that happened, so it's still gonna get talked about. But yeah, we have the commentary team of Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho. I was so tired, I was hearing Taz's voice for some reason. I don't know why, but I was hearing Taz's voice. That's how tired I was. So, the opener was an 8-man tag team match. It was the Hardys and the Lucha Bros versus Butcher Blade, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. There was about several seconds ringside. The Hardys and the Lucha Bros had Alex Abrahantes and Brother Zay ringside. And the Butcher Blade, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal had Karen Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, the Bunny, and Penelope Ford ringside. So there was more seconds in the match than there were people actually in the match. Relatively good tag team match here. I liked it. Yeah, I did end up falling asleep during this match. I don't remember. I don't know exactly when I fell asleep, and I didn't even realize I fell asleep for this match until I was watching Collision, and they showed replays of it, and I'm like, oh, I don't remember this happening at all. I'm like, well, I guess I fell asleep because I saw Ray Phoenix beat. I think it was the Blade with the Phoenix Driver or whatever it's called, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't remember that happening at all. And then apparently, I guess Jeff Jarrett and everybody laid out the Hardy Boys, and the Righteous came out, and that match was set up for a Collision type of thing. So, yeah, it happened.
I'm just happy I got a chance to see the Righteous because what's funny is that so I did watch Rampage, but what happened is this, right? This is pretty fucking funny. So I was in my little group, right, and I was like, "Hey guys, let's." One of them was like, "Did we hear something?" Just fucking blows me out of bed. Like, come on, man, come on, guys, let's watch Rampage. And then like they put on off Rampage, and I was like, yeah, I don't give, I care for it.
But yeah, I fell asleep during the. I fell asleep.
Like, I only watched Rampage for just one match, specifically, and
Yeah,
but
we'll get to that. But yeah, so overall, this was relatively good stuff from what I saw of it, though. Made sense for the faces to win, obviously, because Wade Phoenix had the international title match coming up, so this was a good way to get some momentum behind him. I don't know why you just have like a regular one-on-one match, but it is what it is. So, then Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, got interviewed. She basically challenged the winner of Chris Statlander versus Jay Cargill for the TBS Women's title. She said the collision was going to happen in her hometown, so that's why she wanted to, and she was talking trash about the women's division, about how nobody stepped up, and I was wondering, like, how are you a babyface? You're literally not different at all as a babyface than you were a heel. Like, you're not a good babyface. You're a terrible babyface. I fell asleep like 3 times before I saw this promo in full because I was overtired. So, then QTV had a segment. They're still wondering what's going on with QT Marshall. He hasn't been showing up recently. I imagine what's going on with him is he's doing some indie appearances in Mexico, so that's why we haven't seen him lately.
Haas beat the shot of him, probably.
Yeah, and Johnny TV wants to get some interesting scoops about what's going on, type of thing. And they're trying to get some interesting scoops, but Johnny TV is not happy with any of this stuff, and he just starts losing it eventually. And I think it's this segment, he goes to throw coffee at Aaron Solo, but he inadvertently hits Holly Cameron, and she said that, we need to get some stuff going on here. Again, I was falling asleep in and out during this segment, but basically there's a hostile takeover going on right now with Johnny TV trying to take over QTV. I guess. What a waste of a signing, by the way. Johnny TV signed with AEW, and he's only been on Rampage. What a waste. But, yeah, there you go.
That man, you don't like that?
Huh?
You don't like that? Like that?
I'd rather him be on at least one of the major shows, a Collision or a Dynamite or something. I mean, I will say, they didn't drop the ball as badly as WWE did, if you remember. He just returned randomly backstage. And
when he returned, I was excited. And then all of a sudden, what the fuck just happened, bro?
Yeah. You got eaten by zombies, too, if you remember, I think, too. So.
Oh, God.
Then we had Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal versus The Kingdom. Relatively good tag match. I missed the finish because I fell asleep again. But I'm pretty sure. But I know that the Kingdom won. I'm pretty sure they won with the backpack Enzuigiri finisher. I forget what it's called, but I'm pretty sure they won with that match. And then afterwards, they were so concerned for Roderick Strong since he was in the hospital after what happened on Dynamite. Even though this is taped the same day, but whatever. They tell Adam Cole that he needs to start showing concern, and they're basically putting the blame towards Adam Cole. So, yeah, this was a thing. It happened. And then the Mogul Embassy get interviewed, and Swerve Strickland challenges the Hun Bucks to come face Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony on Grand Slam next week. So that would be good stuff. I like that. I mean, it sucks that we find out the match is going to happen on the Rampage version, but, I guess that is what it is. And then we had the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass versus Pretty Peter Avalon and the Outrunners. They had a good rap right here, and the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass won when Billy Gunn hit the Famouser on one of the Outrunners, followed by the mic drop by Matt Castle on him for the win. And afterwards, the Dark Order came out, and they're sick. They think that Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed are bad people. They talk about how they're just trying to bring good into the world, and all Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed do is just they come out, they do a shitty rap, they get the cheap pop in their city, and all they do is just defend their trios titles. They talk about how they don't represent those titles the way that they should be, and they're gonna do something about it, pretty much. And Evil Uno, they challenged one of them to a singles match, and the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass are gonna play rock paper scissors for it, and they keep all doing scissors. They eventually Dark Order have had enough, and they even talk about how that's not even the proper way to do scissoring type of thing. Eventually Anthony Bowens is the one that steps up, and originally it was supposed to be Anthony Bowens versus Evil Uno, but then the match changes the next day. I don't know why that was changed, but they do have a storyline reason why that happened. So overall, I thought this was relatively good for what it was, and I'm looking forward. They're doing a trios feud out of this, and I think that's going to be pretty decent stuff. So there you go. And then Aussie Open completely squashed Damian Chambers and Lord Crew. So that was pretty good stuff.
I didn't even think I saw a match over there.
No, yeah, it was a match. Blinked and you missed it. I think me talking about the match lasted longer than the match itself. It only lasted like a minute. So yeah, they just won. So
I think I legit they made an entrance. I turned away. The match was over.
That's pretty much what it was. They just attacked these. Yeah, they attacked these guys and they laid them out with the Coriolis and all that type of stuff. So it was a relatively dominant victory. So then we had the main event. It was Chris Statlander defending the TBS Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. You could tell this match was made so abruptly because Mark Henry didn't even do his big video package or anything before the match. This is the first time we've missed that and all that type of stuff. He didn't do its time for the main event, so you could tell they had to. This match was made on a whim, pretty much. Awesome match right here. I thought it was absolutely great stuff. It was very back and forth. Jade Cargill dominated in the beginning, and then eventually Chris Statlander mounted a comeback. And it looked like Jade Cargill was going to win with the bicycle kick, but it was not to be. And eventually, Chris Statlander wins with the Big Bang Catastrophe. I know that's not the name of it, but I forget the name of it. It's the Cradle Tombstone, pretty much. And Chris Statlander retained her TBS Women's Championship. And afterwards, Jade Cargill shakes her hand, shows her respect. And that was pretty much the match. Now, obviously, when this match was reported that it was going to happen on Dynamite, I was thinking to myself, wow, they're kind of rushing this, right? Well, they didn't have a choice. I talked about it on the WWE Aftershock this week, so I won't spend too much time talking about it because I've given my thoughts on it. Jade Cargill is apparently going to WWE. She's pretty much signed it and everything like that. She's going to go straight to the main roster. She's going to be working at the Performance Center this week and everything like that. I thought they'd do something this week to write her off type of thing because I thought they would do something where, Smockmouth Sterling would drop her with a decline and all that type of stuff since he was ringside and everything like that, but they don't do anything like that. She just is going to be gone now pretty much. But yeah, again, I'm not going to give my thoughts on Jade Cargill signing. Just go watch WWE Aftershock for this week if you want to know my thoughts on that. But yeah, I like this match a lot. I thought this was great. This was Jade Cargill's best match. I think she realized, this is going to be my last match in AEW, so I'm going to go out with a banger type of thing, and that's exactly what happened. Shame we couldn't, get this match on a bigger scale type of thing, but again, they had to do this match on basically a whim type of thing. Realistically, I don't know why they just didn't keep Jade Cargill away. I thought her, the way that she left AEW was pretty great anyways, with her losing the streak and everything like that. I don't really think there was a reason for her to come back type of thing, but again, it is what it is. How did you feel about this match? I know this is why you watch this match, and obviously, what do you think about Jade Cargill leaving AEW to go to WWE?
I'm not mad at the fact she's going to WWE because it's to be fair, that's bigger and better opportunities. I'm just a bit afraid that she might be lost at the shuffle. That's my only fear about that. But I would say this, and one of my friends said it best. If she left when she leaves AEW, can go to WWE. could they treat her a lot better till she gain more success, then that's a major loss for it from AEW. But
Definitely.
if she go to WWE and she's not doing that well, then it's a oof. So I could only say it will only be a major loss if she goes to the Fed and got a bigger and better success. That's how we know that's a major loss. If she's just there and she just there, then it's major. Then it's not really a major loss.
Yeah, it all just depends on how well she gets used, but we'll have to wait and see on that. This is basically going to be the next big sign-in that left AEW to WWE. Cody was the first. I mean, really, Bea Priestley was the first, but let's be real. Cody made more of an impact when he signed than Bea Priestley. Bea Priestley really wasn't even much of a factor in AEW when she was there, really, because obviously the pandemic and everything like that. Cody was the real first big signing that went from AEW to WWE. So, I mean, I know Priscilla Kelly was in AEW at one point, but I think she was just there for 2 matches type of thing. So, but we'll see. We'll see how Jay Cargill does in WWE. But that was Rampage. Overall, I enjoyed Rampage. I'll give that a B-. I really can't grade Rampage, though, because I fell asleep through half the show. But, it is what it is. It's the letter grade's out there already. I can't change it now. So, but we will talk about one news item that came from this week's episode, content of Dynamite and stuff. Apparently, there's reports going around that this was the worst attended AEW show that's ever happened. Half the arena was empty and all that type of stuff. Not a great look for AEW type of thing because it's in Cincinnati. That's a pretty big wrestling town and everything like that. Especially because Jon Moxley was one of the featured acts on the show and everything like that. But
I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna. Apparently, AEW papered in their attendance for All In.
Can you say that again? You cut out a little bit.
What I was trying to say is that I thought he was gonna talk about when AEW papered in their attendance for All In.
Oh yeah, true. That was still really great stuff, obviously. I figured you guys have covered it before because I think it's been out there for a while, but I'll just cover it now. Yeah, that's awesome. That happened.
Came out 4 days ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, AEW had really good attendance for All In. That's really great stuff, obviously.
Nah, it's not that. What I mean by papered in, I mean the actual attendance was not real.
Oh, okay. Apparently. Okay, so
apparently the actual numbers registered entering Wembley Stadium through the turn sites was 72,265.
Oh, okay. That's a big.
So I don't know if because there's a few news sites saying that that's the actual attendance, and they lied about the 82. But that's just what I saw.
Yeah, who knows what the case is there. Yeah, that's kind of shitty if they did do that. I know wrestling companies do that all the time, type of thing. But you wouldn't.
WWE does it every fucking day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. WWE does it every fucking.
But it's not good that AEW's doing that. You would think that they would be a little bit more open about it, especially considering the fact that that's a big change, obviously, because they mentioned that was the most attended wrestling event ever. So, it's not true then if they're going to keep saying that type of thing. But, yeah.
So I don't know if that was actually papered in just to say it or what. But that's just what I saw.
Yeah, so, yeah, interesting attendance figures when it comes to anything you want to say about the fact that this week's Dynamite / Rampage wasn't the great list attended, and then obviously papering in All In attendance figures.
But the whole Rampage thing I kind of get because they taped it at like probably right after fucking Dynamite, which people start leaving.
Yeah, I've told you stories on that.
Yeah. So on this day, September 15th. Let's see.
Oh yeah, let's see what happened on this day.
Yeah, 1995. Well, how am I do? Well, this is probably not gonna be on all fucking organized. I'm just gonna go by the ones that I find interesting. So, 1995, WCW fired Steve Austin.
Okay, that's a big thing.
Well, yes, Steve Austin was on WCW. So, yeah, so like, so Austin was out with a tricep injury at the time when he, when he was sent his termination notice via FedEx mail.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Which hurt WCW in the long run.
Yeah, because Stone Cold Steve Austin just went on to be a badass. Let me see which one's more interesting. 1998, Jacqueline defeated Sable on Monday Night Raw to win the vacant WWF Women's Championship.
Okay.
The first championship since the belt was thrown in the trash by Medusa.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Alright, yeah. 2013, WWE presents Night of Champions. In the main event, Daniel Bryan defeated Randy Orton to reclaim WWE World Heavyweight Championship with a fast count apparently from referee Scott Armstrong. The title was returned to Orton due to that count the next night.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was 10 years ago. That it was Daniel Bryan versus the Authority. Don't forget, Zero, that the attendant plan was always for Daniel Bryan to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah. So 2019, WWE presents Clash of Champions a pay-per-view with a unique situation. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman went to defending the tag belts. What the fuck? I forgot.
Yeah, this did happen.
But also had to face each other in the main event for the Universal Championship. The team of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler captured the tag titles from the battling a duo, and Rollins successfully defended the title, the red belt, I believe.
It was.
Yeah. So he successfully defended the title. The other title change we saw was the Revival dethroned the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Champs. So,
this was the Revival's last full year in the WWE because they would be out of the company in February of 2020, and obviously interesting there because AEW basically did that same storyline that WWE did, where MJF and Adam Cole won the tag. Except this time, I would say AEW did it better than your baby won the ROH tag titles, and then MJF retained his world title against Adam Cole. And they kept that storyline going. WWE just rushed through their storyline in a month. So, because it was old man Vince booking, and old man Vince wanted to get everything done quickly. So, next, let's get to Collision, which was which aired on September 16th, 2023. We had Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness on commentary for this show. We had the cold open where each person, talked about their matches coming up. Ricky Starks.
I love the cold opens.
Yeah, I think they add a lot to Collision. Ricky Starks and Big Bill talked about how they're going to destroy Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli, and Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson said that they're going to make Ricky Starks regret not joining the Blackpool Combat Club. Britt Baker talked about being back in Pittsburgh and said that she's going to show everyone why Pittsburgh is the state that loves to fight and all that type of stuff. And then Chris Statlander talked about how she is bruised and battered from her TBS title match, but she's still going to pull through and retain her title tonight. And then John Silver, who's now going to be facing Anthony Bowens, revealed that there was a clause in the contract that all it said was it was going to be Anthony Bowens versus Dark Order, but it never said which member of Dark Order, so he basically outsmarted them. And Anthony Bowens said that it doesn't matter if you did outsmart me, we're still going to win tonight. And then it cuts to the theme song, which, you know, we've talked about the theme song before. But yeah, good cold opens here. How did you feel about all these? I thought they were nice ways to build up to all the matches on the show.
Ways to build up. Yeah. They were nice ways to actually like, that's one of my favorite things about Collision is just how to do the cold opens. It's fucking nice. To me, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like that stuff a lot. Then it opened up with Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli versus Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Really good tag team match here. I thought it was very exciting. They dominated Bryan Danielson for a while. They worked over his shoulder and everything like that, you know, because his shoulder's legitimately injured and everything like that. And then eventually Claudio Castagnoli got the hot tag. He went really on fire onto Big Bill and, you know, Ricky Starks. I thought Claudio and Bryan Danielson did some really nice tag moves together with each other. I thought it was great stuff. And then eventually Claudio Castagnoli and Big Bill fight on the outside. And Big Bill choke slams Claudio Castagnoli basically into the crowd and all that type of stuff, which was just absolutely awesome. And eventually Ricky Starks hits a low blow on Danielson and hits the Rochambeau on him, and he actually gets the pinfall victory over Bryan Danielson here, which I actually couldn't believe. I was very surprised. I figured they would just give the win to Danielson and, you know, Claudio, since Claudio's got his big ROH title match coming up and everything like that, and, you know, Danielson's got his big match coming up with Zack Sabre Jr., but no, they gave it to Ricky Starks and Big Bill, which I thought Ricky Starks really needed a big win. I like the way they went about that, and yeah, I thought this match was very enjoyable and all that type of stuff. And I'm liking the pairing right now between Big Bill and Ricky Starks, where Ricky Starks is basically the mouthpiece, and Big Bill is basically his heavy and all that type of stuff. So, how did you feel about this, and how did you feel about Ricky Starks getting a big win on Bryan Danielson? And how do you like the pairing between Ricky Starks and Big Bill so far?
I was shooketh. It's just the fact how I thought the other team was gonna win, fucking Blackpool, but no, they decided, you know what, let's be different. Let's let Ricky have the win, which is I'm all in for. But there was a spot during the match that fucked me up a bit because this was so fucking goofy as shit. So when Claudio does the swing, right?
Yeah.
To Ricky Starks, during the swing, Ricky was just striking. He was just striking his own pose, like during the freaking swing. He was gonna swing around and home over and shit. Fucking goofy. It's hilarious.
It really
Ricky
was.
Starks definitely got a fucking personality, and I love it. But other than that, it was a good match. It was solid. Not bad. I dig it. I just hope this means bigger things. But this also leads to a match that's gonna happen at Grand Slam. That kind of made me mad because I don't want this match to happen. Which was, I don't know if they talked about it.
I think I know it. Yeah, it's not a Grand Slam. It's going to be a Collision, and they do talk about it later on the show, so we'll get to that when we get there.
And it pissed me off because I don't want this match to actually happen for obvious reasons. But
yeah, we'll get into that later. Then we have some promos. The Hun Bucks cut a promo. They accept Mogul Embassy's challenge, and they want to up the stakes. So, you know, they want the ROH World 6-man tag team titles to be on the line, and the Young Bucks talked about how they held these belts before, but Heyman on the page says this would mean a lot to him because he's never really won a belt before in ROH. So, you know, that was kind of cool. Seems like ROH is getting a lot of love lately. We're having the ROH TV title get defended on All Outs. We're having the tag titles on basically around the hottest storyline in the business with Better Than You Baby. And we're having the ROH World title going to get defended at Grand Slam, and now this is going to happen. So, I guess good on Tony Khan for showing some love for ROH. It seems like that's happened a lot since, the disaster. I mean, the show was great anyways, but the disaster of the build that, Death Before Dishonor was and all that type of stuff. So it's good that, some love's being put on ROH again and all that type of stuff. I have to give our thoughts after I talk about these next two things. Powerhouse Hobbs cuts a promo. And basically, it's the same promo that he kind of cut the week before, saying that he's going to use the Book of Hobbs as his redemption. And then Miro cuts a promo basically saying that the Redeemer's going to come after Powerhouse Hobbs. And he talks about how he's not happy that his wife's back in the picture and all that type of stuff. He blames God for sending her back down onto him and all that type of stuff, and said that he thought he could get away from her and all that type of stuff. And he said that he's going to basically do whatever he can to stay focused on accomplishing his goals and all that type of stuff. So all these promos I thought were relatively fine. I feel like the Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro promo should have set up a rematch between them either at Grand Slam or next week, but I guess that is what it is. I feel like we're kind of ready for that rematch, but whatever. It seems like they're continuing that feud, but also not continuing that feud at the same time, because it seems like Miro wants a piece of Powerhouse Hobbs, but Powerhouse Hobbs wants nothing to do with Miro, so it's really odd, but I liked the Hunbucks promo for what it was, and kind of nice. They're going to be going back to the roots and going and challenging for ROH Championship gold again. So, how did you feel about all these promos right here?
It's alright. It's alright. Both a promo service purpose, and what more can I say?
Yeah, it was good, relatively good stuff. Then we had the AEW World Tag Team title match. It was FTR defending against the Iron Savages.
My boys.
The Iron Savages do their entrance here, and when FTR come out, James Jameson's just talking shit to FTR, talking about how they don't look healthy and all that type of stuff, and FTR just immediately lay him out with the Shadow Machine. So he's basically not a factor into this tag team match here and all that type of stuff. I thought it was pretty hilarious. You knew he was going to get laid out too, just with the positioning that FTR was standing in and all that type of stuff. So you knew he was getting laid out with the Shadow Machine. And there's a big brawl in the beginning. Iron Savages dominate the beginning portion of this matchup. They get the heat on Cash Wheeler. And then eventually Dax Harwood makes the hot tag. And pretty much once the hot tag happens, the match is over pretty much. They lay out Boulder they lay out Bronson with the Shadow Machine, and then they hit the superplex followed by the splash on Boulder for the win, and FTR retained the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And FTR cut a promo basically saying that they feel like they're on fire as a tag team right now, and whoever wants to accept this young talent open challenge type of thing are more than welcome to do so. And the Workhorsemen have a face-off with them. They, face off with FTR, and that match gets made official for next week on Collision. So I'm happy the Workhorsemen are going to get a tag title shot. I think that's going to be really good stuff. I think it's going to be relatively good stuff. How did you feel about this match, and how do you feel about this this open challenge is going so far for FTR?
It's good. I love when wrestlers decide, you know what, let's give these young guns some, love and all this shit. Let's, let them prove themselves worthy of basically my fucking time.
Yeah.
And I dig it. I love I love it so fucking much. I love when they do that. It makes me happy as a motherfucker. Like there's a lot of teams that, I want them to have attention on. One of them is basically my fucking boys, the Iron Savages. They are so fucking good. I love them.
Yeah, I'd love it if they could challenge for the Trios Championships. I think them versus the Acclaim and Daddy Ass would be such an entertaining feud too with the
most
gimmicks.
definitely. them hyper ass motherfuckers take on against these freaking rappers and shit. That shit gonna be fun.
Yeah. Next, Keith Lee gets interviewed, and they did this weird bit. I think this was a production error where, but I don't even know if it was because then they do it later on in the show where they had to be like, okay, action type of thing, and I don't know what they were trying to go for here type of thing, but it was really odd. It was one of the weirdest things I think I've seen because I don't know if this was a legit screw up or what, but then they do it later in the show. I don't know if that was them trying to cover it up that something's got screwed up here, but Keith Lee cuts a promo talking about how he's going to rise up the ranks of AEW now, and he said that he's going to basically make Collision his show, which I'm happy about. You know, I think he should be a Collision guy. If you're not going to use him on Dynamite or Rampage, well, they were using him on Rampage, but I like to think, by the way, that Keith Lee just didn't want to be on Rampage anymore, so that's why he walked out of Dynamite. I still think that's hilarious. He didn't even realize he had a match on Rampage, so he just left. Like I think that's hilarious, but anyhow, and then nobody told him he had a match on Rampage. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You're gonna, but anyhow,
So,
are you good? Okay, you.
Not again.
I think I seem to be able to see you now. Oh, now I can't see you at all.
Alright. This better?
I can't see you at all on my end.
What?
Yeah, just like it's just turn it. Maybe try turning the. All right, much better.
There you go.
All right, yeah, but yeah, Keith Lee gets interviewed. He says he's ready to make Collision his show, and then Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty come up to him, and Shane Taylor introduces Lee Moriarty because apparently now he's a part of his faction. I don't even remember what the name of it is because I just forgot. He challenges Keith Lee to a match. I think it's going to happen next week, but they weren't really clear on that. But when I do the breakdown, we'll talk about that. Yeah, this was good. At least Keith Lee's doing something, I guess. I just want it to be something more than feuding with Shane Taylor. I get they have a history and all that type of stuff, but it just seems like we need to get Keith Lee doing something more meaningful, I think. Nothing against Shane Taylor or anything like that, but the dude, by the way, wasn't this dude a babyface like a week ago going up against Samoa Joe for the TV title? Why is he a heel this week? That didn't really make any sense. So it's like, I don't
understand shit in general, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Keith Lee tried to make the most out of what this was, but Keith Lee did this big promo saying that he was ready to turn his career around, and it doesn't seem like we're at that direction right now. He should have been, like, moving on to a feud with somebody else. Like, he should have feuded with a Powerhouse Hobbs or something like that. Nothing against Shane Taylor.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, nothing against Shane Taylor or anything like that, but it just seems like, this doesn't really seem like what I would have wanted for Keith Lee. How did you feel about this interview segment right here?
I didn't even watch it.
So
I didn't even think I was watching it, bro.
I can't blame you.
So it's like, cause like I saw the clip on YouTube, and I was even more fucking confused, bro. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man?
There you go. Again, Keith Lee needs some love. I guess it looks like we're on the direction to that path, but we need to get there faster than we are because this is too slow for
real.
me. Like,
this is pissing me off. Like, I love Keith Lee. That's my fucking boy, bro.
Yeah. So.
And now he's delegated to this shit? Are you kidding me?
I know. We still never got that Swerve Strickland Keith Lee match we were meant to get. Like, they were a team for like a.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. I don't even think they had a tag match or anything. Like, what's going on? Like. They're breaking up really bad now. Like, really bad.
Oh my god.
Wait till you see, like, the frozen position you're stuck in when you watch this episode of Spout back. This happens sometimes. Okay, now you're good. Are you good? You were doing so well too. And this happens sometimes, you know, you have to roll with the punches. Maybe I'll leave and come back. Alright. I don't see him here now, though. I'll just keep, I guess, going, because, I'll just talk about the next thing while I wait for him to come back. So, next was John Silver versus Anthony Bowens. Yeah, and overall, I thought this was a really good match. During the match, before it starts and everything like that, after Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn, and not John Silver, Matt Caster do their rap. John Silver reveals in the contract that Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn, and Max Caster are banned from ringside. So the match happens. It's a really good match. Very exciting. Very, it has great intensity behind it and everything like that. And eventually, while they're fighting on the outside, Evil Uno pops up from out of nowhere. He throws Matt Caster into the steel post, and this is followed up by a running Shining Wizard on John Silver for the win. And John Silver wins. Overall, I liked this. Dark Order needed a big win since they're feuding with Trios champions now and everything like that. And I thought this was a good way to get to that and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, overall, I thought this was relatively good stuff. While I wait for him to come back, I'll just keep I'll just keep going. Eddie Kingston does a promo, and this is basically to kind of go over the history between Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli. So, yeah, all of this was good. Eddie Kingston talked about how he's never forgiven Claudio Castagnoli for everything that he's done to him before he left the Indies and everything like that. He talks about how he doesn't even care if he wins or loses this match. All he cares about is taking a piece of Claudio Castagnoli, which worries me because every time Eddie Kingston says that, he never wins. So I hope that's not the case. And he said that he's basically going to take a piece of Claudio Castagnoli with him after the match. So I just talked about the John Silver Anthony Bowens match and then the Eddie Kingston promo. Anything you want to say about those two things?
All right. We're back.
Yeah, I just talked about the John Silver Anthony Bowens match and then the Eddie Kingston promo. Anything you want to say about those two things?
All right. So, Johnny Hungy finally got a win.
He did.
I'm happy about that. And the Eddie Kingston promo. This is why I love that man, bro.
Yeah.
This is why I love Eddie Kingston. That is my spirit animal. That is my boy. Oh. What's funny about that whole promo is that he did explain everything. And I like how he was like, Ref, we have to fix everything that you left behind. You left without on. You literally just abandoned us like that. And now you're back here thinking you just all this and that. Come on now.
Yeah. And again, I like this a lot.
So, yeah, I understand Eddie's rage. He he even said that what's bugging me is how Renee told me to fix it. So I thought wrestling him's gonna do it. I thought me not answering John's calls is gonna do it. So I hope this does it. So it's Teddy's the reason why I don't really have a lot of friends is because I push them away, which is kind of like it does hit though. That does hit, and it's like this makes me wish Eddie wins the match. I hope he does, especially in his home state.
I know.
Like, yeah.
I feel
but
like
also,
yeah.
But also, AEW on their YouTube, they were doing a live stream of like, I believe like it was a live stream of like every Claudio and Eddie encounter, which I might watch later on. But yeah, so good shit from Eddie, bro. I love this man.
Yeah, he's great. And I hope AEW actually has a second chance here because they screwed up last year, in my opinion, when they had him lose to Chris Jericho in the Barbed Wire Everywhere match. And they could have saved themselves had Eddie got the win back and all that type of stuff, but then they didn't go that direction. And they have a chance to save Eddie Kingston right here because he was kind of struggling a little bit for a while when he was doing the stuff with Ortiz. And then he started doing the stuff with the House of Black, and then it looked like he was going to go heel, and then it didn't happen. So I'm really liking the fact that, and I don't even think it's AEW that saved Eddie Kingston. It was Eddie Kingston that saved Eddie Kingston. And I think AEW needs to validate this. I don't care if it's, I know AEW has like plans. They have months in advance. They need to give Eddie Kingston the ROH World title. And again, it doesn't have to be a long title. And if you want to put the belt right back on Claudio or take the belt right off of Eddie Kingston, you can do that. But Eddie Kingston needs this moment in, him being a double champ would be awesome too. He'd be a New Japan Strong champion and an ROH champion. Whoever would have thought Eddie Kingston would have been an ROH World champion. He doesn't necessarily fit the mold of what an ROH wrestler you think would be like. So, I think that would be great stuff. And he froze again on Discord type of thing. So that's the Discord's really failing us today. So I don't know what. I'll just keep going until I hope he can come back on here. So, here he is.
Bro, I don't know what's going on with the fucking Wi-Fi today. It's never really happened that much, bro.
Well, technology's just failing us today. We're almost done anyway, so we're just gonna keep going. Next we had Orange Cassidy and Hook get interviewed, and this was awesome. They're both eating spicy chili Doritos, and Orange Cassidy wants to do a tag match, and Hook agrees to do the tag match. And you didn't see this on the show, but you did. AEW did post on their Instagram page doing an exclusive that they had an altercation with Cool Hand Ange and Daddy Magic Matt Minogue. And apparently it's going to be a mixed person tag match on Rampage Grand Slam. It's going to be...
Why?
I don't know. It's going to be Hook and Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus Anna Jay, Cool Hand Ange, and Daddy Magic. I would have just preferred the traditional tag match and just leave Anna Jay and Chris Statlander out of it, just because I think that would have been so much better. But it is what it is. I don't love the fact because this is the exact same tag match they did, except there was no Action Bronson there, so it is what it is. But how did you feel about the Hook and Orange Cassidy segment and everything like that?
I don't know why this is a 6 mixed tag, but okay, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
I really got nothing to say about it. So, yeah.
Then we had Aussie Open. They had a match. We never find out who their opponents are. They didn't do any introductions or anything like that. Aussie Open just destroyed them. They had Coriolis on both guys, and that was that pretty much. Afterwards, they cut a promo talking about how they've been winning their matches in less than a minute recently. And they talk about how a year ago, and they talk about how they've been champions everywhere they've been, like FTO. And they actually throw a little hint that might happen at Wrestle Kingdom, might not, where they mention that they never lost the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles. So that might be the They may
This is factually correct.
yeah. So they may be challenging for those belts again at some point. Which I would like, as I think who are the champs? Is it Bullet Club War Dogs that the champs? I know they have one of the belts. I know they have the Strong belts.
Bullet Club War Dogs got they got the open weight titles.
Oh, okay.
But who's currently tag champs? I could find out.
I think it's Bishamon then. If it's you know, the reason I know this is because I remember at Independence Day they fought for one night they fought for the Strong belts.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, because one night they fought for the Strong belts and lost. I think they lost the Strong belts and then they retained the IWGP Heavyweight. I don't know why New Japan did it that way. They should have just done all titles on the line, but you know, whatever. But yeah, overall, I'm into that because that's and Bishamon versus Aussie Open I think would be an awesome match. I think that's your Wrestle Kingdom match right there. They're probably gonna do World Tag League, which I wouldn't complain about. I think everyone likes World Tag League, but it wouldn't even make sense if Aussie Open entered World Tag League because they have a gripe to get a title shot anyways, type of thing, because they never lost them. I kind of hope maybe they'll do a 3-way match. Maybe they'll do Aussie Open versus whoever wins World Tag League versus Bishamon. But again, we're just getting into New Japan stuff. We can't be talking about that on here. But anyhow, Aussie Open talk about how it was a year ago. In October, where they faced FTR for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles in their hometown at Royal Crest, and they lost. And they talk about how they're a much different team now ever since they faced FTR. So they challenge FTR to a match at Wrestle Dream, whether it's for the AEW Tag Team titles or not. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed that. I thought that was I liked obviously Aussie Open's little squash they had, and then I enjoyed their promo afterwards. It's mainly Kyle Fletcher that does the promos. Mark Davis doesn't say too much, but it was still relatively good enough. How did you feel about this, and how do you feel about the prospects, of everything that Aussie Open set up with the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles and the Wrestle Dream match?
I'm just excited at the fact that
You have a lot of background noise going on.
I swear to God, my family's fucking weird. But anyways, what I was trying to say is that I'm just excited we are getting this match because I still need to resume watching the Royal Quest match they had. Because from what I heard, that shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome. You can you don't even need to get New Japan World for that. I think it's on New Japan's YouTube channel, actually. You can watch the Royal Crest match from last year. So, it's going to be awesome. That's going to happen at Wrestle Dream, though. And I like the fact that they want to just face FTR. They don't even care about winning the AEW Tag Team titles. That's like a consolation prize to them. They say that whether or not they're the tag champs or not, they're going to face FTR, so I actually kind of like the fact that they don't even care about winning the tag belts type of thing. So that's kind of cool. Then we get probably the best segment promo-wise of the whole show. It's the Tony Storm Portrait of a Star. RJ City's trying to interview her, and she talks about wanting to win the AEW Women's World Title. She talks about winning the 4-way. But then she doesn't like the lighting in the room. She thinks that it's too bright type of thing. She can't even see a thing. So RJ City has to fix the lighting and everything like that. And then they proceed to continue with the interview. And then the best thing that she says is she talks about why is everyone chastising her for not wanting to be buddy-buddy with everything like that. And, I'm the one that's getting chastised for wanting to, smack the tits off everybody and everything like that. Which I feel like that's just what you have to look like. That line, she's gonna say that line at some point, and something like that. And then she doesn't like the lamp that's behind it. She thinks the lamp look ugly, so she has the production guy take out the lamp type of thing. And then that's it. We don't find out anything more for this. It's gonna be to be continued. I don't think they did anything more with it on Collision. They're probably gonna do a little segment of it on Dynamite, which is really weird. I would have liked to have it continued on Collision, but whatever. I'm loving this new Tony Storm character now, though. I think it's really connected with the audience and everything like that. Again, I really wish they weren't doing the women's title match at Grand Slam. I really wish they were delaying that because this would be so much better. But it is what it is. How did you feel about the segment with Tony Storm? I thought it was awesome.
It was goofy. I didn't even think I saw it. I just saw it on YouTube. It's just goofy.
It really was. Did you hear she has a new T-shirt now? She has a new Tony Storm has a new T-shirt. It's what she was saying to Renee Paquette in her interview a couple of weeks ago, when it said, I think it was chin up, tits out, and watch out for the shoe type of thing, and it's like her throwing the shoe at like Renee Paquette or something like that.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's awesome. Then we had Scorpio Sky cut a promo, and he talked about how he's had to come back from a lot of stuff. He had to fight off 2 injuries, and now he's ready to come back and be the original Scorpio Sky. Good promo here. He cut a relatively good stuff. How'd you feel about his promo? I thought it was good.
It was dope. I like to see him back, It's nice to see him back.
And then, then we had Andrade Alito versus Scorpio Sky. Really good match right here. I thought it was very awesome. Scorpio Sky had his old theme song back, Reach for the Sky, when he went singles the first time.
That's fucking dope.
I'm happy about that because I didn't like the other song that he switched to, so I'm happy he has this song back. This match was awesome. Very back and forth. Andrade Alito dominates the beginning portion of it. He throws Scorpio Sky into the steps. He throws him into the barricade. Eventually, Scorpio Sky knocks him to the outside, and he hits a springboard 450 splash onto the outside, onto Andrade Alito. That was awesome. And he dominates Andrade Alito for a while. Eventually, Andrade Alito makes a comeback. He works over the knee of Scorpio Sky, and he locks him into the figure 8, and Scorpio Sky taps out. Andrade Alito gets the win. Very awesome match right here. I thought both men really showcased themselves very well. I did think it was a bit of a mistake to put these two in a match together because I thought it was kind of a, double-edged sword right here because both of these guys really couldn't lose. Because Andrade Alito's got a lot of momentum behind him right now, and Scorpio Sky, this was his return match. And overall, I still think it was a mistake. I feel like they should have, had faced other people on this show just because I think a Scorpio Sky really needed a big win to reestablish himself and everything like that. Because I thought he looked kind of weak by tapping out, losing and everything like that. But at least I'm happy to see him back. I hope he can get back into the mix again. But it's kind of a tough start for him. I think he needed a better start. But how did you feel about this match and everything like that? And the fact that AEW paired these two up together in a match together.
This is what happens when you get two good wrestlers just doing their own thing. They just make magic. Like, these are some of the wrestlers that are underrated as fuck.
Definitely.
That's not getting a lot of appreciation. Maybe the fans like them, but what's crazy is that we don't really see them out. So I'm just really happy with the fact that I get a chance to fucking see my boy come back and just do his thing. Actually seeing Scorpio Sky and all that makes fucking I just like seeing them do their thing. I saw really good, man. They get a lot. Now I hope they have a direction instead of just doing matches every week. We like seeing him, but we want to see him have a direction. Maybe go back to the TNT title and actually have a better reign or just something.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking he was going to join Bullet Club Gold because at the end, they do come out and things like that. Maybe that's coming, but I don't know if he needs to join Bullet Club Gold. I don't really think he fits, because Bullet Club Gold's kind of a goofy type of faction. I don't really think he'll fit with that faction, but, we'll see. Maybe he'll be the serious guy out of it type of thing, where maybe that's why it'll work, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Afterwards, though, they do shake hands, so it does look like Scorpio Sky may be going babyface. We still don't know yet, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And then Bullet Club Gold come out, and Jay White cut a promo on Andrade Alidolo, talked about how he was watching. He saw that he was watching, their match last week and how impressed he was with them. And he basically challenges Jay White. So Jay White pretty much challenges Andrade Alidolo to a match next week. And that match gets made official. So, Jay White versus Andrade Alidolo, I think is going to be fire. I think that's going to be... that
match about to be crazy.
Yeah.
That match about to go stupid. I swear to God.
Can't wait to see it. So, really great stuff right there. And then, continuing... it showed the history of the Golden Lovers, kind of everything that they've done not in AEW, but everything they've done in their career and everything like that. I thought this was a very good video package. It was narrated by Ian Riccaboni and Kevin Kelly, since they, have called most of their action and all that type of stuff. But overall, I really liked this history they showed of Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega and all that type of stuff. And then I'll just cover the next thing, since it's a quick thing. Kazuchika Shibata gest interviewed by Tony Schiavone. We find out... I don't know why, but we find out that he's going to be defending his ROH Pure Championship against Nick Wayne on ROH TV on Thursday. It's random, but okay. And then he said that he had an announcement to make, and he announces that he's going to be at Wrestle Dream, pretty much. And he says that he looks forward to seeing whatever competition comes his way. And I love this thing because they've gotten around the fact that he can't speak English. How he does it now is he has basically a text-to-voice thing on his phone that basically translates what he's going to say. I think that's awesome. And I think that's pretty dope that he has that. It'd be funny one week if, he screwed it up or something. He misspelled a word and they said that word, but... I really like the fact that they've added that dynamic to his character and everything like that. But yeah, how did you feel about these two segments here, showing the history of the Golden Lovers and the Kazuchika Shibata segment?
The fucking Shibata one was so cute. I love it. He can't speak English, so he's gonna text us just to speak for him. It's fucking hilarious in my opinion. But hey man, we get to see Nick Wayne die on a Ring of Honor, which is fucking awesome.
I'm actually going to... we're doing the rundown anyways. I'm actually going to be watching that episode of ROH TV.
Let me just have that man fucking get fucked up by goddamn Shibata to the point that he go back to high school.
He might have to with how stiff Shibata's kicks are and everything like that.
He's about to get his ass fucking handed to it. I'm all in for that.
Yeah, too bad it's not all in. So, But yeah, how did you feel about the history of the Golden Elite? The Golden Lovers history.
I already know about the history. I already know the history about it, but it's nice they're doing this because now a lot of people recognize how fucking great the Golden Lovers are and how they literally changed the fucking world. So I'm happy about that.
I think AEW is getting better at cluing in people the history of stuff pre AEW and things like that. Because if you remember when the Butcher and the Blade debuted, Excalibur kept chanting, saying it's the Butcher and the Blade, we were supposed to know who they were, but no one knew who they were if you didn't watch, unless you watch the indie stuff and all that type of stuff. I think AEW is getting better at cluing people in that didn't watch the indies before. I do most of this stuff anyways about the Golden Lovers, but you do have to remember a lot of people didn't watch DDT Pro Wrestling and some of New Japan and all that type of stuff. So it's good that AEW is starting to kind of be okay, this is kind of what was going on. They're doing that. And funny thing is, I can't even say it's them. Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli are doing that with their storyline they got going on. So I really like that AEW is getting better at doing that. I feel like it's more of a collision thing, if you notice, because when it's on Dynamite, they expect that you've already, should know that type of stuff. So,
because the thing is that there's a lot of history between certain feuds, and some casuals probably is gonna be why is this so important? But for us, we know why it's important. But I'm happy they actually, telling the story and why this is important.
I mean, if you have access to the footage, why not use it too? Also, too. So
yeah. Go hit up my boy, Wrestling with Unicorns because he has most of the footage of certain things like I remember Nick Gage's like okay, if you ever saw Nick Gage's entrance video, like his Titantron, the footage used was from wrestling with unicorns.
Okay.
Which is big. Well, it's not a promotion. It's a guy who has, who does, I believe documentaries or some shit. So like he has the footage of like GCW, probably DDT and all that other stuff. So yeah, if they use if they actually has all the footage, he could help out with telling you the story. So yeah,
that's awesome. Then we had the next match. It was a tag match. It was the Hardy Boys versus the Righteous.
Boys.
Good stuff. I don't know what Stu Grayson was. He just wasn't there. I hope that it just seems weird. He's in this faction now. If you're not gonna have him show up, why is he in the faction?
He just
yeah, he's just not there. I like this match overall. I feel like this match would have been a little bit better, obviously, if the Hardys were younger. I did kind of feel like they were moving in a little bit slow motion here. Like, I feel like Jeff Hardy was especially moving in slow motion in this match. And I've always wanted to see Vincent and Jeff Hardy have some type of altercation, because I don't know if you know this, Vincent used to wrestle in a indie fed here called Top Row Promotions, and before he became the leader of the Righteous and all that type of stuff, he was essentially Jeff Hardy, pretty much, of that promotion, but he did all the high-flying stuff and everything like that. So it's kind of cool I got to see Vincent walk up with Jeff Hardy somehow, some way. It wasn't very long. But yeah, overall, I liked this for what it was. I thought Dutch looked fairly good in this match. Again, I just think it's one of those things. I think the Hardy Boys, you can just definitely tell, have slowed down a lot, obviously, just because of their age now and all that type of stuff. So, it is what it is. And then it gets weird. The Righteous just won. They beat the Hardys here. Boy, the Hardys aren't really looking good that recently. I don't know what's going on here with the Hardys. Like, they only seem to be able to get a win if it's on Rampage. They can't get a win on Dynamite, and they can't get a win on a Collision, apparently, either. I feel like they kind of rushed this match. I feel like they could have saved this match and done promos for it and all that type of stuff. I would have loved to have seen like Matt Hardy and Vincent do a promo together and all that type of stuff, but there is a reason they did this. Apparently, the Righteous are going to be the next team that challenges Better Than You Bebe for the ROH tag titles, because the Vincent does a really good promo on it. I didn't really think Dutch's promo was all that good. I thought Vincent's was very good, though. I feel like Dutch just needs to stay silent, just be the heavy, pretty much, of that faction. But yeah, overall, I thought this was relatively good stuff. I just felt like I was a little disappointed in how the match was overall, just because I thought, it would have been a little bit better. But again, I think it's just one of those things that the Hardys, we're just going to have to accept the fact that they really can't go, obviously. Yeah, pretty much. Which is not good, because everyone's wanted Edge to go to AEW so they can see that Edge and Christian versus Hardy's match. If this match was slow, I can only imagine how slow that match will be. So it's like, I don't know if I want to see that. And I feel like Christian and Edge will really be carrying that match. But anyhow, that's besides the point. But yeah, overall, how did you feel about this match, and how do you feel about the Righteous potentially going after the ROH World Tag Team Championships?
I want the Righteous. You know what? I'm be real with you. I want the Righteous to be tag champs, bro. I love the Righteous. That is my fucking crew. That is my group. They are lit. Especially Vincent. Vincent's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Like, holy shit, I love this man. But I want them to win the tag. Okay, I want them to win the tag titles. It probably makes no sense. But do I care? I don't care. I just want my boys to have success, bro.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. How'd you feel about the match overall and everything like that?
It was alright. It's nothing really to write home about, for real. It's just, it's a match. It's basically a match to prove a point. That's all it is.
Yeah, it is. I wonder if they all try to humble Jeff Hardy a little bit, too, just because, obviously right when he came into AEW, he had those issues last year and all that type of stuff, so I wonder if this is a way to kind of humble him a little bit, because they don't want to give him a big push, obviously, because, it's kind of hard to... Yeah, you can't really trust him right now, so... Anyhow, continuing, Claudio Castagnoli did a promo talking about, the history between him and Eddie Kingston and his perspective, and he said that he's going to put an end to Eddie Kingston once and for all, type of thing. Good stuff here. I'll just cover the next. I'll cover the next 4 things actually, so that way you can talk about it. FTR did an interview. They talk about how they're happy to see these young guys step up and be a great tag team, and they look forward to retaining the tag titles. And whether they're tag champs or not, they look forward to facing Aussie Open at Wrestle Dream. I think this is where the match gets made official, that it's going to be a Wrestle Dream type of thing. So, the match is official. We still don't know if it will be for the tag titles or not, but only time will tell. And then it shows a nice hype package showing the history between Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. It shows the promo that Zack Sabre Jr. cut on a New Japan show recently where he accepted his challenge and everything like that. So I thought that was awesome. And then Big Bill and Ricky Starks do an interview. And Ricky Starks is sick and tired of being overlooked by all this stuff that's going on with Wrestle Dream and everything like that. He's challenging Bryan Danielson to a Texas death match next week, which I think that match will be really good. So, yeah, how'd you feel about all these segments right here?
Segments are alright, but the main thing I want to talk about is the Texas death match. I am against it, okay? Not because I don't like death matches. It's because of Bryan's health. I don't want him to have any matches that is a risk of his health. Because, like you said, this is probably our last year with him. And I don't want him to waste that year not giving us the one match we always wanted. I am against it. If he wants to do it still, fine, I guess. But I don't want him to risk the injuries from that match. We know how brutal a Texas death match is. We've seen it with Adam Cole and Hangman Page, and we see it with John Moxley and Page, I believe. They had a but still, I don't want Bryan to be in that match, bro.
Especially since he's working hard already anyways, as it is, type of thing. So.
I want him to do the match so I could have some sort of closure. I want to have a closure with me actually finally seeing the match that I always wanted.
I know, yeah.
I don't want him to get hurt again, bro. If he gets hurt again, I'm gonna be very pissed off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't blame you. But we'll see what happens. That's gonna take place on Collision. I kind of hope maybe it won't be as brutal because it is Ricky Starks doing the match, and he's fairly a safe worker. He hasn't really been known to really injure anybody or anything like that. And I thought the strap match they had was fairly safe. So I'm kind of hoping it's at least that levels of brutalness that we see. But we'll have to wait and see on that type of thing. But yeah, now what the rules of a Texas death match? Because I know there's different rules for it. I know it's last man standing, but I know sometimes you have to do like a pinfall before you can even do the last man standing step. Is that going to be the case here, or is that a different rule? Okay. So we'll have to wait and see. Then we had a main event for the evening. It was, and the main event for AEW for the most part. It was Chris Statlander defending her TBS Women's Championship against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Really good match here, I thought. I thought this was relatively good. I really didn't care about it. It was really just more propaganda to try to get Britt Baker over as a babyface, which I'm not a fan of. And I guess the good thing about it was I was getting scared thinking that they were going to put the title on Britt Baker and everything like that because it was in her hometown and everything like that. But that's not what happens. She does hit the lockjaw onto Chris Statlander, and she's able to shift her Britt Baker's weight and get the pinfall that way. And Chris Statlander retains the TBS Women's Championship. Afterwards, they shake hands. Britt Baker raises her hand, but this was kind of an example of where Britt Baker tried to put over somebody, but I didn't really feel like it was genuine. You could tell she was just not happy the way that went down, type of thing. It was like her Hulk Hogan when he put over Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, where like he kicked out right after the move and didn't sell it and anything like that. This was exactly like that. And yeah, overall this was good. I don't think this was great. I think this match is a little bit overrated and all that type of stuff. I thought it was fine. Everyone's saying this is going to be like a turning point now into the TBS Women's title since they got this big main event slot. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think this was just 1 week thin. We're in Breako's hometown. Let's just give it the main event slot. It didn't even really feel worthy of the main event slot. Like, it should have been the tag match with Danielson and Claudio versus Ricky and Big Bill. But, you know, that's how they wanted to book the show. Afterwards, we saw Julia Hart was watching from the rafters, so it looks like that's going to be the next TBS Women's title match. So I guess that will be interesting. I would like it if Julia Hart won the belts, just because I think it'd be interesting. I mean, it'd be better if House of Black was still Trios champions, obviously, because that way they'd have all the titles type of thing. But I could see, Chris Statlander just retaining. I hope they don't just do a thing where, like, they just do a promo with Statlander just like, oh, I'm just going to fight you now, and then she just beats her and just moves on type of thing. Chris Statlander's TBS Women's title reign hasn't been all that great. It's been okay, but, like, it just kind of feels like we're doing the same thing we did with Orange Cassidy. Just put it on Chris Statlander, but I feel like Orange Cassidy's was way more entertaining just because, like, he was just doing it and he didn't even have to be doing that type of thing, but whatever. How did you feel about this match overall? Do you think this is going to be a change for the TBS Women's Championship? And how do you feel about Julia Hart entering the mix?
One of my friends nearly had a heart attack during this match because he thought Britt Baker was about to win.
I think I know the spot too. It was probably the curb stomp too, wasn't it too? Huh?
Yeah, he was he was about to have a fucking
yeah.
heart
So
attack.
was I. Yeah.
I was like, yo, bro. But okay, so the match I didn't really care for real, but yeah, it was good. But at the same time, it's like, at what cost? Now we're about to get Julia Hart, which I'm fucking excited for because I love Julia Hart. I hated Julia Hart where she was that, a preppy high school or like a college cheerleader looking ass.
Yeah.
And now she embraced the darkness, and now she actually is fucking interesting and have a personality. So, if she wins the title, I'm gonna be partying, bro. I'm gonna start drinking.
I don't blame you.
Once she wins the title, because that was my girl. Julia Hart really had to glow up, bro. It's crazy.
It's awesome. And that was Collision.
Yeah.
I liked Collision for the most part. I thought in further stints, this was kind of the first real test to see what Collision was going to be like post CM Punk, just because last week they had the tournament, so they were kind of able to write themselves out of it. But overall, I think Collision's going to be good stuff. I still think it needs to find, its structure again and all that type of stuff, just because obviously most of the people that were showing up on Dynamite are just showing up on Collision now, so I feel like they need to do something to make Collision stand out again from Dynamite again. But overall, I really liked Collision. I'm going to give Collision a B+. I thought it was a pretty great show. I thought, everything on it about it was relatively good stuff. What would you grade Collision?
I'll give it like a I guess I give it like a B or a C or something like that. C.5 or C4.
There you go.
But yeah. So before we end this, I want to give the last on this day, and this is for the 16th, right?
The 16th, yes.
All right, let me. September 16th.
I feel like there's gonna be a Night of Champions or Clash of Champions in here somewhere, just because they always happen in September.
So the 16th we got. Let's find. What the fuck? 1995. ECW held the Gangsta's Paradise paper. What the fuck name?
I mean, that might have to be a retro someday.
It's a reference to a song, but yeah, we might have to watch that because What the fuck? Okay, so uh, it was on this show. Both Rey Mysterio Jr. And Psychosis made their ECW debuts against each other,
Oh, okay.
with Mysterio going over. And the main event show, Mikey Whipwreck and the Public Enemy defeated New Jack, Sandman, and Too Cold Scorpio in a steel cage match. What the fuck?
Wow, we're gonna have to
We
watch
have to,
that. Yeah,
we
that.
have to watch that. Holy shit! Alright, let's see what's that. 1996, Sting turned his back on WCW. The- This was an ongoing storyline involving a fake Sting. The
Okay, yeah.
Stinger cut a promo telling his fellow stars and fans off for doubting him. This led to the famous gimmick change into the the a vigilante Sting draped in black with his crow makeup and trust the baseball bat. Hi.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah.
Which is still being felt to
All
this
right.
day.
And on 2003, this was the episode on SmackDown. Brock Lesnar retained the Brock Lesnar retained the WWE Championship in the Iron Man match
Oh, okay.
against this was a Iron Man match that may be considered the greatest Iron Man match in history. Brock Lesnar won 5-4. Oh, this was the Iron Man match with Brock and Kurt Angle.
Yep. Well, Brock won the title. Yeah.
On this episode, Los Guerreros defeated the world greatest tag team to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Yeah. So that's
happened.
we have to do that for the retro someday too.
2010, WWE officially made a press conference effective immediately. Linda McMahon resigned her role as chief executive officer in order to run for the U.S. Senate.
Which he didn't win.
Yeah, what she did win. On 2011, The Rock announced he would be uh returning to the ring at Survivor Series
Oh,
to
okay.
team with John Cena against The Miz and R-Truth. That's
Yeah, it's wow.
2012.
Ooh,
Oh, what?
very significant stuff.
2012. Night of Champions took place in Boston, Massachusetts.
That was there
On
too.
on this day, John Cena and CM Punk fought to a draw for the WWE Championship. The ending involved German suplex. Both men's shoulders were pinned, and yeah. But also on the same show, Kane and Bryan defeated R-Truth and Kofi Kingston to win the tag team championships.
Yep.
One more. 2018, WWE presents Hell in a Cell,
Oh no.
which the sole title match on the show was Becky versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship in a Hell in a Cell match. On the same night, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman battled inside the steel structure with Mick Foley as the guest referee, and that was there's also one of them. 2019, the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, Glenn Jacobs, defeated R-Truth for the 24/7 championship.
There you go.
And Truth won it back on the same show. That was it.
Yeah, very significant stuff take place on September 16th. Apparently, I don't know what it is about the wrestling world, but very significant stuff takes place on that day. Apparently, so yeah, good stuff. And yeah, now that we're done with the weekly content, you know, we're gonna just cover. I'm just gonna go through the week breakdown of what's to come this week. This is gonna be a big week for AEW because we have Grand Slam on Dynamite and Rampage. We're probably gonna have like a 4-hour show next week because Rampage is 2 hours and we have to do a full in-depth review of that this time around. So let's just go.
No, the fuck we don't.
It's up to you, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll go over the show. This will be on the Dynamite Grand Slam version of it. MJF will be defending his World Championship against Samoa Joe. Saraya will be defending her Women's World Championship against Toni Storm. We're going to have title versus title. ROH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli will put up his belt against New Japan Strong Openweight Champion Eddie Kingston, putting up his belt. And then we have the International Championship match. It will be Jon Moxley putting up his belt against Rey Fenix. And then also we're going to have the only non-title affair that's scheduled, Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara. And that's on the Dynamite Grand Slam version of it. On the Rampage Grand Slam version, we're going to have a... I think this is a no DQ match too. It doesn't say it on here, but I'm pretty sure I remember it being hyped as a no DQ match. It's going to be Darby Allin and Sting versus Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. We're going to have the ROH World 6-Man Tag Team title match. The Mogul Embassy, represented by the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage, putting up the belts against the Hun Bucks, Heyman and Page, and the Young Bucks. And then we're also going to have the AEW World Trios Championship match being defended. It's going to be the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass defending their titles against the Dark Order. John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Evil Uno. Now, it's not advertised on the website, but it's pretty much official. We're also going to have Hook, Orange Cassidy, and Chris Statlander versus Anna Jay and 2.0 on the Rampage Grand Slam version of it. So, yeah, big episode of Dynamite and Rampage coming up. As for Collision, pretty big episode of Collision coming up. We're going to have FTR put up the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Workhorsemen. This is a big match right here because if the FTR lose, then the tag title match between FTR or the tag team match anyways, between FTR and Aussie Open will be a non-title match. So this is kind of a big stakes right here. We're going to have Jay White versus Andrade El Idolo. That's going to be awesome. We're going to have a Texas Death match. It's going to be Ricky Starks versus Bryan Danielson. And then coming up on, Wrestle Dream. Let me find the card for that. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it because they're not advertising anything. I know the card for the most part, but I'll just see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, they don't have it up there, but the 3 matches hyped as of this moment for Wrestle Dream. Potentially for the AEW World Tag Team titles, but depending on if FTR can keep them long enough, FTR are going to face Aussie Open either in a non-title match or for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Only time will tell. And then we're going to have Swerve Strickland versus Heyman Adam Page, and then we're going to have Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., depending on how the Texas Death match goes between Ricky Starks and Bryan Danielson. But, fingers crossed. All things work out on that. I didn't want to say God looks down on us because obviously with religious beliefs I don't want to confuse anybody. So anyhow, that's we have a big episode of Spark coming next week. I hope be prepared for a 4-hour show because we have a 2-hour Rampage to cover, 2-hour Dynamite, and a 2-hour Collision to cover. Thank God there's no Dark Elevation or Dark because then it'd be like a 6-hour show. And don't forget, by the way. Actually, I'll let you plug it when we get there because you're going to be the host of it. But anyhow, that's basically the end of this week's episode of Spark. Probably one of the shorter ones just because not a lot happened this week. It was just more setup. But is there anything you want to plug or promote? Because there's a big thing you're going to be doing next week. I should have you plug it you remember it. Because you almost forgot about it.
Bro, I forgot what week it is. But, yeah, so... So, there's some stuff coming up this week on my few channels. I will have to record some stuff for main channel. But in the meantime, on my color TV, we have the Go Home show for okay for on Frontline, we have the Go Home show for Everything or Nothing, which is Frontline's major show, and yeah, and then after that, maybe a Sunday or Saturday, Everything or Nothing is gonna be out, probably on Premiere. My and also some other stuff is going on my on my other TV stuff. So yeah, check it out. And Sunday we have the Wrestling Rundown, hosted by me, uh, and it's gonna be fucking chaotic, maybe in a good way, fun. I'm trying to break traditions formula of a formulaic show. You know, where we talk about every promotion, too much going on, but for this one, it's a spin, it's a twist. We're not just gonna cover. We're gonna have some fun. Fantasy of cooking the card using uh using wrestlers from the past, the present, and the future, dead or alive or crippled. But yeah, so it could be anybody. What else? People wanna talk about wrestling themes, video games, etc. Just something to have a conversation and and just to like be fucking relaxed and enjoy it. So yeah, that's coming on the 24th, and yeah, so I'm gonna get things ready for that, and it's gonna be pretty fucking fun. Like everybody's invited. It could be from FTW. It could be from No DQ, the Jeff Meacham Network. Hell, this isn't it, James. Are you hearing me, James? Say yes, you fucking fat bastard. But yeah, James, if you're hearing this, you could tell Jeff Meacham you are invited. You could tell him you could show up. You could literally just say Zero invite you over, and we just have a good time. It could hell Noah. If you're watching this, bring your scrawny ass in this damn joint, okay?
Wow, just throwing out all the call outs. So
Yeah, yes. So like, I don't care who is in here. So yeah, but yeah. So that's what's going on, and yeah. Do you got anything to plug other than your fucking days of fucking slavery of you doing your shows and shit?
I know, yeah. So we were supposed to do Spock yesterday, but then I was so tired as hell from doing all those shows and everything like that. So, yeah, we got some stuff to plug. Again, I'll plug the rundown again. It's gonna be interesting to see how we're gonna do the rundown because you were on the last one. When we cover the current stuff, that took 4 hours to do. I don't even know how the hell we're gonna include all that in, especially with all the stuff you want to get in there. But we'll have to wait and see how that happens. You and James are probably gonna have to take the New Japan section because I'm not gonna have time to watch the G1 before that. I know it happens though, so
Damn, man.
I tried.
Hey,
so, but
you don't have to watch the fucking New Japan. You can just watch whatever.
oh no, yeah.
So yeah,
But
you just talk about whatever.
yeah, we have some stuff coming up. I don't know if it's on the channel yet, but James and I did a retro where we reviewed TNA January 29th, 2009, when the Main Event Mafia took over the show. That was a interesting retro. It was basically as chaotic as when the Main Event Mafia took over, just because, it's a chaotic episode of TNA. And then a retro incoming. It's going to be James's last retro for a while. It's going to be WCW Bash at the Beach 2000, which is very fitting considering the fact that the whole reason he's leaving the pro wrestling industry currently is kind of what that show's about, which is weird because it's his pick. But James, I never understand him sometimes, so, you just got to go with the punches. And then we have WWE Aftershock. week 37 coming up. That was over 3.5 hours just because we had extra person on and everything like that, and we were just bullshitting. And then I'm trying to make sure on the Talkinator, we have an episode of Owen and AJ Talks where my cousin and I reviewed Season 1, Episode 3, The Southern Air Temple of Avatar The Last Airbender. And we have some other stuff coming up. We're going to do a couple episodes. We're going to review the Red vs. Blue miniseries where we're going to review Recovery 1, and then we're going to review the episode of SpongeBob, I believe it's called Pressure and the Spoken Peanut, the episode where the characters go up on land for the first time and nearly get eaten by seagulls. So that's going to be a fun time. Huh?
I remember that episode.
Yeah, and then the other episode is about when SpongeBob throws an episode at the clam, and the clam cries the whole episode, pretty much. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun time. And then, as for other stuff for Wrestling Fortune 44, we have some retros coming up. We're going to do NXT Roadblock 2022, reviewing that, and then we're going. My pick, we're going to review No Mercy 2002 to hype up ourselves to watch No Mercy. You're going to see a Fastlane retro coming up in soon, since Fastlane's coming up. And then obviously there'll be other retros coming up. I assume we'll have to do one before the next Saudi episode, since there's a Saudi pay-per-view coming up. We're probably going to get some in there for Survivor Series. We may do one for Bound for Glory, depending on everyone's moods, because there's Bound for Glory will be coming up. Maybe an AEW pay-per-view, since we have an AEW pay-per-view coming up soon. We were going to try to squeeze one in for a Grand Slam. Try to do a Grand Slam, but we're just not going to be able to squeeze that in, so it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And thank you guys for watching. This is being recorded in the past. We will talk to you guys in the future.
Podcast has concluded. Be sure to check out more group discussion as far as AEW content is concerned, and check out more content from For the Win Productions.